I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
Nuts. You thought?
And now, your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!
All right, guys, I'm taking this channel to the next level. I got a little bit of explaining to do with the channel, so check it out. If you notice, there is a name change with the channel. So forever, I started this channel forever ago, and I pretty much did everything, okay? So I did vlogs with my kids and my wife. I did gaming, reviews. I mean, you name it. My very first few videos was 3D videos. Guys, I've done everything. And this is actually going to give credit to FCAT. And I'm going to give credit to, well, not Proto. Let me take them off there. Proto's like 14. Doesn't matter. But to give you guys some context, I did a stream on Thursday. And I had non-gaming stuff in the beginning. Talk about relationships. Pretty much the topic was, can men and women be friends? Then we got into body counts. It was crazy. So everybody was into it. It's jumping in, blah, blah, blah. So the next day, and then eventually I got the gaming. So the next day, FCAT was like, bro, I think you shouldn't do that the way you did it last night because we had to wait so long to talk about gaming. And, you know, so that was cool. He expressed his concerns. He said, maybe I should have 2 channels. Maybe I should just have 2 different days. And I said, here's the issue. The reason why people kind of don't get it is because I'm not consistent. I've been saying it for the longest time that I want to do some more non-gaming content, right? As well as gaming. But I don't want to separate my stuff so much. And because you watch YouTube and you see everybody's channel is one specific thing, that's what you're used to. But I want to be different. So I want people to come to my channel and be like, oh yeah, Cowboy's channel, You don't know what they're going to be talking about. He might switch it to this. He might switch it to this. That's why months ago I made the thing the topic switch. I was preparing people for what's coming because when I moved to Florida, trust me, it's going to be epic. Guys, when I get a streaming room, I'm going to have props set up. I won't have my wife's fish tank here and flowers, and I won't have stuff that could get in my way. I'm going to be loose, versatile. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. Guys, it's going to be epic. Just hear me out. Now, with that being said, I don't want to get stuck in the box of just gaming. And I know most of the people that watch my content loves gaming, and I love you guys back. I love you gamers, but believe it or not, I'm a natural born entertainer. I want to just entertain. I want people to laugh, joke, cry. I want people to be mad at me. I want to slap the hell out of them. I want people to be like, yes, yes, yes. Guys, I want to get in front of this camera and do only what the cowboy can do. So when I think of FCAT and he was critiquing me, and I said, listen, I don't mind to be critiqued. Let me know. But it made me think. King of content, right? So what content does he do? Well, I say I do podcasts. I say I do gaming. I say I do vlogging. And I say I do reviews. Okay, you get that. But a lot of people do that too, right? So then it hit me. And I can't remember, but one of you guys, I need to thank. One of you guys said, why don't you call yourself the Cowboy King of all entertainment? I said, God damn, that's a ring. That's a ring. However, that's too long. So I was thinking about it. And after the thing with FCAT, I said, you know what? I told my wife, I said, I want to switch things up. She said, now what? I said, listen, what if, all right, follow me. What if I went as the Cowboy King of entertainment? Because guys, what I'm doing on here is I'm entertaining. Yes, I'm going to talk about the same stuff other content creators are going to talk about, other gamers, but I guarantee they ain't going to do it like me. They ain't going to do it like the Cowboy, baby. No. So when I talk about vlogs, when I do gaming, when I do podcasts, when I do reviews, I put a cowboy hat on. I make it fresher than life. Why? Because I'm a natural born entertainer. That's what I do. That's why I look good. That's why I could dance. That's why I could hit, do martial arts. Guys, I do it all. And I make it look good. So, guys, witness the birth of the natural born entertainer, because entertainment stops right up here, because I am now the Cowboy King of entertainment. Guys, I just want to laugh, joke, have fun. I want people to get emotions out of my content. And so therefore, I want it to be known. When people get mad like Lion, I feel like you guys are always doing rumors, and you're talking about stuff that you don't even vet it and find out if it's true. Shut your mouth. We are just discussing topics. I don't care if it's true or not. Do your research and find out. All I'm doing is slapping out there so we can have a discussion. It's like a talk show. Did you get mad at Jerry Springer when he had the chick come on that cheated on the dude with his mom? No. You just ate it up because Jerry brought you the hard-hitting stuff. That's what he did. So, guys, the only man that walks around proud with these two belts on the shoulder is a natural-born entertainer. Oh, yeah. So, guys, welcome to the Cowboy King of entertainment. And entertainment stops right up here. So, with that being said, guys, today is going to be cool. We're going to start this thing off with relationships. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the shows off with non-gaming topics, right? So somebody said, well, do the non-gaming topics at the end. I said, no, it's not that many people that want the non-gaming topics, and they're not going to sit through all of the gaming to get to it. So for me, I feel like, but gamers may also want to talk about non-gaming discussions. So let's start this thing off with a little thing from my girl from work, Nicole, aka Lady Ball. She said, Anthony, I got one for you. I said, what is it? She said, why don't you cover, can you be friends with your ex? I said, oh, that's always a good one. That's always a good one. So we're going to touch that. And then we're going to get into some movie reviews. I'm going to smack them out. I got 3 things I want to review. And then we're going to get into our gaming. So guys, stick with me. Trust me, this is going to be a dope format. You guys going to love it. It's going to take a while. I get it. But I really, really, really want to do more than just gaming. It's just like when people said, oh, your reviews do great. You need to just have a review channel. No, because I'm more than that. I don't want to only do reviews. The Cowboy is more than that. And I'm also more than gaming. There's more to this. More to this man machine. All right. So I'm going to grab a chair. I hope you grab a chair. And we're going to get into the show and make it look good. All right. So first things first. Let's see who's up in the building. Let's see. I need to move this over a little bit. All right. So Mr. Urban World is in the building. Shake my hair 4 minutes late. Get it. So I'm sorry. I was actually listening to K9 because he was making his show about me. So I was like, whoa, let me check that out. He was covering, guys, I had the pleasure to play against King Thrash yesterday in Tekken 7 for a charity event. They raised almost $5,000. We was the main event of Tekken, that part of the tournament, the headline event. And it was cool. Got to go up against King Thrash. Guys, make sure you watch the video. Trust me, it was dope. It was epic. It's something you need to see because I put the mittens. It's up to King Thrash. All right, so before I leave and watch TV, let me see. Over there, mad because, so what is it called? Nware? Nware about to bring day-and-date games to the cloud. Let me see. Mad because PS5 games are coming to PC, but that's no excuse to be late. Chariot Man's in the building. So what's going on, Cowboy, mister? And yo, Obi Rose is in the building. He said, yo, like, comment, and subscribe. The king of entertainment is here. Let's go! So here's the thing, guys. I'm very bad at this, but let me take a look. All right, so we're going to look. Let's see. Now, on my screen, it looked like it's going a little slow. Is it going a little slow for you guys? Let me know, because if so, actually, you know what? I'm just going to refresh it right now. So hold on real quick. All right, let's see. Let's see if that made a difference. All right. At least you guys could hear me good. All right. So let me see. Obi Rose was in the building. Chariot Man said that matchup with King Thrash was hilarious. You is so damn good in these fighting games. I mean, I'm getting there, but I'm going to do a lot more practice next go around. Yo, what's going on? Ellis said, Cowboy King. Hey, Ellis, I am now the king of PlayStation. No longer is it that Sony pony King Thrash. I done dropped his body off, and now I am the king of PlayStation because they need a better king to run that garbage they call ponies. So I'm going to make sure I clean up Ponyville. I'm going to brush all the ponies' hairs. I'm going to make sure I clean up the dens that they stay in. Trust me, I'm going to take care of PlayStation Nation. I got this. All right. So I'm 20 minutes into Netflix, and this guy's still standing. Man, I wasn't even streaming for 20 minutes. Let me see. Ron said, why you got on my girlfriend's pants? You know, Ron, it's haters everywhere you go. But you know what? I make these pants look good, better than your girlfriend. So she's jealous of me. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. Let's see. Mr. Earl said, we are gamers. We don't have girlfriends around here, Ron. He said, women don't date gamers. Ellis said, yeah, right, mister. Let me see. Obi Rose said, if I was there, y'all would have raised 8K Tekken World Finals. Here I come. Yeah, you would have did pretty good. Let me see. You're the real deal. I appreciate it, man. I just want to do me at the same time as entertaining you guys. Remember, this channel, guys, I let people bring up topics and discuss them. I throw a link and let anybody join. So it really is entertainment over here. And so I didn't want to no longer use the word content because for me, it's more about entertainment. All right. So I'm almost getting there. Let's see. So what's going on? Chat. Cherry Man said, FCAT said, yo, Obi, when whatever Wednesday coming back. See the people asking for Obi. Let me see. Didn't even know he was here. Smiling. He's smiling. Lions in the building because she left the pants at Cowboy's house. Hey, tell him again, bro. I didn't want to say it, but you know. Let me see. There's so many girlfriend gamers, bro. To Mr. Urban World. And then CMG said facts. Mr. Urban said y'all have to prove it because she not round here, Cherry. All right. So that just means you can't get a girlfriend. So, guys, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our non-gaming topic. So, if you guys want, you guys could join me. So, I'm going to put the link, and then we're going to get into it. So, non-gaming topic, I'm putting it right there. Trust me, I was taking a lot of feedback from a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys were saying, well, why don't you let the people know? At least when people come in, they know what you're doing, what you're not doing. So, there we go. It says non-gaming topic. We're going to get right into it. So, to join the show. All right, here is the link for you guys to join. I'm going to pin it right here. And then we can get into it. So, first things first. The topic is going to be, should exes stay in the past? Now, I'm going to be honest. You guys know me. I try to be very what the word I'm looking for. I try to be very authentic, right? If I talk about something, I'll even put my own life out there. I'll even give an example of myself, right? So we're gonna bring FCAT in. Let me take this out of my ear now. Sam is like the sound is doing good, right? All right, so FCAT is jumping in. Give it up for my right hand man. FCAT is in the building.
Yeah.
Put my thing in my ear.
Yeah, that good idea, Cowboy, to put the non-gaming topic thing there. That way, people that are showing up for the gaming stuff can fast forward and know when it starts.
Listen, bro, I gotta give you credit. Listen, at the end of the day, that's why I said I don't mind the critique, right? I don't mind constructive criticism, and you guys are my peers, and we do content together, right? So I don't mind you guys letting me know. Now, I'm not gonna take every advice, right? But there's gonna be a lot of advice. I'm like, you know what? I put that in my brain. I think about it. I run it by my wife. Ask her what she think. I ask you guys. See what a bunch of people think. See how I'm feeling about it, and I make decisions. Got to give Obi Rose credit. Obi Rose was the one that said, "Bro, your intro is kind of long. So instead of you doing where the countdown, the starting soon, the countdown goes on. Then I used to come on. I used to talk to you guys, read the comments. Then I used to make the intro." He said, why don't you just do everything? Then you come on. I did that. Then Mr. Urban said, bro, it's still too long. So I said, you know what? Fine. I'm cutting the starting soon, which I used to wait like 2 minutes. So I go straight into the first little thing comes out. Then it goes countdown for 30. Intro plays. Bam. We in there, right? So again, I take feedback from you guys. You guys are helping me build a better channel for myself and for you guys. So let's see. Obi Rose said, whatever Wednesday coming back soon. This dad life 2 kids thing is hard. He said, I'm struggling. Let me see. Cherry Man said, I feel you, bro. And he said, what's up, Ellis? All right. So guys, let's get into it. So the question is, should exes stay in the past? Now, I think yes.
Should they stay in the past or friends?
Should they stay in the past? So meaning, once you're done, then you should be done, right? Like the past means she was your past, and that should be it. And meaning you should not be friends.
It all depends on how
Okay.
the breakup went.
Now, I'm going to say this. Just the other day, a bunch of guys was on here agreeing that men and women can't be friends. So if we all said men and women can't be friends on Thursday, how can on Monday we said, yeah, we can still be friends with our ex? That's even worse. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be honest. So I don't have a problem if I'm in a relationship with somebody. I'm happy. I go out, I can meet the hottest chick at the club. She's hitting on me. Dude, it's just fun. I'm dancing, flirting. I'm going home. But if I see an ex, it's different because I once had emotional ties. I'm going to be frank. I know what the sex is like. And if it was good, it's like my brain is memorizing this stuff, right? So me personally, I say exes for me is a no-go. And then I got a story I'll tell you guys about. I'll be perfectly honest with my story. But you got anything else you want to add before I add my little story?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
it depends. Like if you break up or you split up for whatever reason, maybe you just got separated.
Right.
There's all kind of things that come into play with that.
Mm. So Lion said, yo, FCAT would be better for a friend zone conversation. He an expert at that. He said, shout out to my dude, Obi. Let me see. Shout out to Purple is in the building. Define X. All right, so I'll break it down. Let me see. Ellis said, Chariot Man, what's up? And so everybody's saying what's up. He said, oh, that's a tough one. And Lion said, Cowboy, if the hot chick is on you, you not gonna clap. Come on. I thought you was the cowboy. No. So here's the thing. I'm really good at resisting anybody new, right? I'm a big flirt. My wife knows I'm a big flirt, right? But somebody in the past, that's different, right? Because you got a lot of history. So for Purple, I'm gonna say X is someone you previously had dealings with. Now, we try to do the loophole and be like, yeah, I mean, I never dated them. We just smash, right? I hope you all know what smash means. So I feel like, no, if you went to that level, then you probably shouldn't be friends, right? That person is still an ex in the sense of you did something. Now, I know there's those relationships where, especially for guys, you did something, and I'm gonna bring up my own story. You did something, and you was never in a committed relationship. So you're like, I never dated her. But to be honest, if you did something, because guys were very visual, we could see a chick that gained weight. We ain't see her in 10 years, but your brain's still gonna be like, yo, I remember clapping them cheeks. So I feel like, yeah, for me, I think we shouldn't, or I'd say this, right? So let me put out two stories. One, I have a really good friend of mine's, and I told the story the other day, before I met my wife, me and her, whatever, never dated, right? So we stayed friends. We used to call ourselves best friends. Now, she was more kind of the annoying chick, so it's easier for me to be like, and her and my wife got to be really close friends. Good stuff. But I'll be lying if my brain sometimes don't be like, like that's real. That's being as real as it could be because I'm human, right? And I feel like if my wife and I didn't work out or whatever, listen, man, I might be trying to, because yeah. So now, second story is an ex of mine that I could propose to twice. We was engaged twice. I was with her when my kids was in Pampers. She was there, as my kids was growing up. We was together for like 5.5 years. I used to know her mom. I knew her mom before I knew her. In my phone, her mom's name is Real Mom. So her and I broke up years ago in the early 2000s, right? Like 2004. Years go by. She moved to Myrtle Beach. She gets married. I'm married. Blah, blah, blah. So she came up here to visit. She met my wife. We all went out. Me, her husband. We all cool. Mad cool. A couple years later, I guess they was having issues. So somehow we end up talking, right? Just texting, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a true story. I end up flirting with her, right? And I'm just flirting, being dumb, saying dumb stuff, right? I'm happily married. But still, I'm a dude. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 right? Her husband finds the messages and hits me up and was like, bro, I played dumb. Like, what you talking about? So then he hit my wife up and was like, yo, your husband. I'm like, bro. So it was this whole big thing. And at the end of the day, she lived miles away. I wasn't going to see her, but it was just me just flirting around saying dumb stuff. Why? Because she was an ex of mine. And I had that moment where I was just being a guy. Whatever, right? And me and my friends, I'll be honest, we send around like half naked pictures of girls all the time. Sometimes I'll be looking, laughing. I show my wife, like, you think this is real or not? She'd be like, she's like the cool chick, right? But having that ex led me into that. So let me go to the comments. Hopefully I put a little clarity on that. You guys know I don't mind putting my own situations out there. Let me see. What does smash mean? Smash mean. All right, Ron. I hope that painted a good picture for you. Lion said, do it like the Hulk and smash. Let me see. Ella said, I had a relationship with exes, so I'm going to be quiet. See? Let me see. Lion said, was she taller? She was my height, actually. Let me see. Taxi Cab Confessions with Cowboy. Hey, guys, I told you, I'm now the king of entertainment. Oh, I got to change my name on here. So, guys, I want to bring more than just gaming. And I'm going to consistently start off every show with a non-gaming topic. So, you guys got to hold me accountable, right? Let me see, even if it's just one topic. But to help me with that topic is my old partner in crime from the Big Mike and Little Ant show, none other than give it up for Big Mike.
Yo, what's good, people?
Hey, Mike, man, first of all, I don't appreciate you, bro. Remember the time you almost got me stabbed for being on your podcast telling my life story? Yeah.
That was your fault.
Bro, I did a podcast. I ain't know she's watching. Yo, the next day she hit me up. I'm like, yo, it was crazy. So y'all got to watch out when y'all around Mike. Mike, what's up, man? How's it going?
I'm good, man. You know, can't complain, but I've been listening the whole time, so I want to jump on and give you my 2 cents before you get the other stuff.
All right, so let me read real quick. Purple. She said, what happened? Something tells me there is more backstory to this question. What's up, Michaela? How many things you want to do? Ain't you going to your friend's house for her?
Yeah, she's coming at 7. Well, I'm gonna just tell you.
Go ahead,
I'm
Michaela.
going to Chick-fil-A with Lonnie.
All right, cool. All right, anyway, let me see. Ron said, my ex is a S-W. Oh, okay. You guys know what that means, right? Let me see. Cowboy sleeping on the couch tonight. No, I'm good, man. My relationship is good. Hey, Purple, don't do that. So, Mike, go ahead. Lay it on me, man. The relationship guru, first of all.
I imagine you almost got shit by that girl husband for trying to flirt with her, stuff like that.
That was so crazy, bro. You know what it is? I was just like, it's an old flame. She hit me up, and we were just, you know how it goes, bro. It was just stupid. Yeah. And I was just,
I'll be brief, man. Listen, man, we've been through this on our show, I think, but I don't think it's a problem. I think, first of all, most relationships, most of them start off as friendships, right? And then they develop into relationships. So you had a friendship at some point. So even though that turned into a relationship of whatever type, after that relationship is done, there were still parts of that friendship that you still like or want, stuff like that. So I feel like that as long as the two people are respectful and they understand the relationship part didn't work, they can be friends. Like, you have friends for different reasons, right? So you know me. Right. I'm friends with about 4 of my exes, like, right now, and close friends. Like, I talk to them. One's on one of my podcasts and stuff like that I do. Yeah. So
hold on. Let me ask you a question, Mike. Don't give me that. So how you gonna just I can't never say this word. Say it.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, Mike. So you're gonna be like, well, for some point you was friends, and some point you was more than friends, but later on we could just only be friends. Oh, really, Mike? So you could just say, Mike, this is you right now, right? This is what you're telling me, Mike. So you and her was friends,
right?
Friendship title. Then you became more than friends. You threw that on. Then y'all broke up. You was like, you know what? The sex title is gone, but we can just only be this. Really, Mike?
All right. Hold on. Let me back up. So sometimes, not most times, not immediately. You can go back to being
Okay,
friends,
okay.
but sometimes after some time has passed, maybe some months or sometimes even more, you can go back to being what you were originally because again, you became friends for a reason in the first place. Might be because you got similar interests, similar TV shows you watch, similar gaming, maybe whatever it is. So that can go back to that once you realize, okay, we just didn't work. Remember, it wasn't
Right.
just sex; it was a relationship in most particular cases. So again, back to me. I'm friends with about four, and there's never any flirting, never any going beyond what it was. We just remain keeping that friendship and stuff like that. Which the key is this. I'm gonna tell you the key. One, don't reminisce about your history you had before. Which probably where you went wrong with the other girl. So once it's over, you can't go back and say, "Yo, remember that time we went to this?" No, no, no,
So
no,
what you're
no.
saying is, even though you might be thinking it, you just don't speak it.
Right. And I don't care what it is. It could be a restaurant y'all went to, whatever. Don't reminisce because it doesn't bring it back to old memories, stuff like that. Move
Right.
forward. That's the key. And the other key is that keeping it kind of like still remember she is an ex. So
Right.
don't talk to her late night. Don't be around the person when they getting dressed or different things like that. Remember that. But again, for me, mine flourish. So I don't know because and then
Okay.
for them, and hold on
Now,
real quick. Hold on
okay.
real quick. This last point. And for them, they still appreciate, let's say, the advice I give or the person I am. So they're like, "Yo, we might not work in a relationship, but I still like you as a person." So
Let me
go
ask
ahead.
you this, Mike. So all this advice you giving the people who are listening, just so you know, Lion, no, the girl don't live in Florida. All right, she lives in South Carolina. That's on the way, but that's far away. This advice you giving the people, you're trying to set guys up right now, is what you're doing, but for failure too. So here's the thing, Mike. All this, I could be cool with an ex. Are you that cool with an ex when you're in a relationship?
Yeah, that's my whole point. I'm still cool with the ex when I'm in a relationship. Okay, all right, here's the thing. Here's another advice I'm gonna give you. All right, seriously, I can still be cool with ex in a relationship. However, your new relationship person might not be cool that you're cool
Right,
with an ex.
right.
So my advice would be don't tell the new person that was an ex. Just tell them they're your friend, which they are right
Bro,
now. You're not lying.
that's real. Listen. We used to say this thing, man, where I come from. Rule number one, never telling yourself.
Yeah. And they are your friend right now. So you're not necessarily lying. But
Right,
once they realize you guys were intimate, it changed the whole dynamic. It could be the greatest girl in the world when she first meet her. Oh, I like her.
right.
She's cool. Blah blah blah. They're like, yes, my ex. What? Forget her. So
Yeah.
don't put that information out there.
Guys, Mike
And
is spitting. Listen, this is the guy, man. You
I
know?
was but I know for each his own. I think to each his own, I say. But I
Right,
think, for me, it does take time. Everyone I'm still friends with, it didn't like, yo, we broke up today and friends tomorrow. It took
right.
a while, and then just like kind of talking to them
So
or
let me
whatever.
ask you this.
Yeah.
Why, if you break up with your ex, right?
Mhm.
Why even want to still be friends?
Because now, okay, forget even before you got together, you were friends. You should have been friends during a relationship too. Right? Like you and your wife, right? You guys are best friends. You do
Right,
everything together,
right.
blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's TV shows.
Everything.
I know for a fact there's 100 TV shows you guys watch
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
lots of game things you do. Now, think about if y'all broke up and then 6 months out, like a show y'all watched together had a new season. And you're like, damn, I want to talk to her about this shit. That's why. Because
So,
you're like, yo, I
bro,
know
I'm gonna
how
tell you
people
how
feel
deep
about
it
that.
is. So the one girl I was flirting with, blah blah blah. I used to play Grand Theft Auto with her, bro. We used to beat all the Grand Theft Autos together. When we broke up, I stopped playing Grand Theft Auto. So I
Right.
never,
So
I
that's,
never beat San Andreas because of that. And then eventually, I was like, okay, let me come back to it, and I played and beat Part 5. But that messed me up because I felt like I
that's
shared it with her.
that's my point. So that's why. Because you just like had
No.
something
But
that
your
fit.
point messing me up in the game because had I been like, oh, we broke up and San Andreas came out, let me start talking to her. Nah, me and her, every time we spoke again. So that wasn't that was the person I ain't trying to be cool with. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but because our relationship was more of that. Like we wasn't that social anyway. But Purple said, that is a very thin line, Big Mike. I want him to hear this. Purple, you listen to Mike? Purple said that's a very thin line, Big Mike, but that might get you in way more trouble.
Don't, I'm telling you, just listen. No, don't, well, I don't know which point he's talking about, but if you're talking about don't tell.
She, that's Purple.
Oh, she, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what point she's talking about, but if she's talking about don't tell the new person the ex was the ex is the ex, that's the smartest thing you ever do. But make sure the ex is on the same page. So y'all never speak about the fact your ex is with the new person. You know what I'm saying? So it won't get you in trouble. This my friend. We're friends. That's it. It's clean.
Yeah, I just feel I'm forget that, right? Let's say you're single. Bro, I just feel like there's no point for me hanging with my ex. And it just be growing up where I feel like we're gonna be cool, but at some point,
bro, it don't make sense. You're friends with me, right? So let's say we stop talking. You saw me again 8 months from now. I'd be like, yo, I want to hang with you, bro. I ain't seen you in a while. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
Because there's a very important thing you and I ain't sharing.
Because you can't compartmentalize. Exactly. That's the point.
And a lot of guys can't. And you up here capping, you know?
Huh?
You up here capping.
I do it now. I've been doing it for years. What are you talking about?
Yo, Lion said we up here giving away the playbook. Hey, Lion ain't watching.
Well, on that note, bro, I gotta go. I just want to stop through real quick, man.
Yo, thank you. Hey, Mike, it means a lot, man, just to have you on here talking to you. I love it. What I'm gonna do is every show, if you're ever free, I'm gonna start off every show with a non-gaming topic, and then so if you're ever free, just jump in. I'll start off 5:30. You know.
I got you, bro. See you later, man.
All right, man. Peace, guys. Give it up for my man, Big Mike. What's up? What you got to say about this stuff, man? He said you didn't beat up San Andreas because you damn right. No, it was emotional, Lion. Like I had emotional ties with Grand Theft Auto with her, so it was like it was weird. Like I couldn't look at Grand Theft Auto the same because we broke up.
So what you do is you get in your car and you roll up on her and pick her up and take her to the somewhere and watch the car start rocking.
Yo, I'm telling you, not me. So Purple said, "LOL." All right, the truth will always come out of it. Hey, Purple, he on here playing around, man. His Lion said, "Purple, call in." I'm good. Purple said, "I'm good." You can though. All right. So anyway, guys, I know we had some people complaining. You take too long with this relationship topics. I ain't even gonna say who the person is. I'm not gonna say no name. I ain't even gonna point nobody out who was crying and complaining. But this person helped me evolve my channel. Cowboy, King of Entertainment, guys. I'm just trying to have a lot of entertainment. So we're gonna switch gears. Unless you guys got anything else you want to say about it, because I want to move on a little bit. Let me see. Hold up. Yo, everybody trying to get Purple on. Cherry said, you should go on, Purple. Yo, Lion said, I want to know Purple opinions on this. No, she kind of said that you shouldn't be friends. Purple, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I feel like that's the conclusion you came to, right? So let me know if that's what you were saying. I want to hear a female perspective. All right. Holtz is in the building. Holtz, I need you to let me know, can males and females who are separated, like, can you still be around your ex? Should exes stay in the past? Long story short. Let me know your thoughts, Holtz. Lion said, what about beating San Andreas? Now you're married. You know what? It's been so long. I don't care anymore. And plus, I did beat part 5 with Nico Bella. So I kind of moved on. And it's just I don't even want to play that game now. First of all, Grand Theft Autos to me are the most basic game, right? You don't really do nothing but run around and drive and steal cars. Now, that part is fun. Grand Theft Auto has very fun gameplay, but it's never been super compelling. And that's why I liked it, because it was just something fun her and I could play together. But to be honest, I don't want to go back to it. Let me see. I want to give Holtz a chance to comment. I only just saw the X topic now. Can't believe I tuned in before the topic switched. No, I didn't switch yet. So let me know. So I feel you. I feel Purple. totes the line. JS, just saying. I think would you want her exes to stay? Now see that, now there we go. Now I should have asked Big Mike that, right, with all what he's saying. And the thing is, I'm kind of cool, right? I'm older now. I'll be 47 next month. My wife just turned 40. If she was like me and my ex been cool, then it's different. But if she's like, oh, my ex, I haven't seen in a long time, we want to get together. Hell no. What the hell does it look like, right? That don't make any sense to me. But if I met her and she was cool with her ex, you know what I mean? They already had a relationship. That's understandable. Now, if her ex, like my situation, came to town with his wife, they live far away, they want to get together for whatever reason. Maybe they was close because the girl I was talking about, I was really close with her mom, and I knew her mom before I even knew her. Matter of fact, she was a little girl when I first met her mom, and I was married to my first wife, right? And her mom used to be the HR manager where I used to work. Her mom helped me pick out insurance for my first child before when my ex-wife was giving birth. So it was a lot to the situation. But yeah, I'm cool if my wife had a, like, for instance, I'll tell you how cool I am. When I met my wife, she was still cool with her ex-boyfriend's family. So we would go out to events and everything. They would always invite her. They were Spanish, so they had events all the time. I used to always go see them. What's up, bro? How you doing? Went to his mom's wedding. He was there. Went to Thanksgiving dinner. So I did a lot of that. Now, they wasn't talking on the phone and being cool, but they seen each other, gave each other hugs, whatever. I knew what it was. That was her ex, right? No big deal. Now, if they was mad cool, then I would just have to accept it. Now, once something went a little left, then y'all got to end that, you know? Let me see. If you can answer that, then fine. Yeah, so I just answered that. Let me see. It usually is a case-by-case situation. Purple, get out of here. The case-by-case situation for me is the time frame. If I was already cool with that person before I met the new person, or she was cool with that person before she met me, then I feel like, all right, cool, right? If you're going to look me in the face, say nothing happened, cool. Once I see something sketchy, then y'all got to end it, you know? LOL, Cowboy, that answer was too long. My bad. Now, but let's bring in none other than, he's not just my guy, he's not just your guy, but this guy is the accent guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm off camera. Boom, boom, boom,
I got
boom.
you. Host. I got
you. I had to go upstairs quickly just to get this topic point in. No way I feel that exes can be friends. Okay. I said on last show, I feel like male and females can't be friends because we've got different goals, targets, emotions, feelings. Right. And I feel like that once you expanded into a relationship and you've had all the pros and cons of a relationship and then you have fell out of love, there's no way in hell you can go back to that friend zone. So that's my point of view, because I feel like every time, in my past experience, every time that I've tried to sort of being delusional and think that I could speak to the females in my relationship, it always starts off as, remember that time we done this, remember the time we done this, remember that time you done this, and it just always becomes so toxic. And one day you're like, why did we break up? Then the next day we're like, oh, I know why we broke up. And I feel like you remember more why you broke up and why you can't be friends, because you can't have a civilized conversation. I think you've crossed the boundaries too much to ever sort of communicate as friends or decent people. So I feel like once you're an ex, get them out of your life. For men and women, get them out of your life, move on. That's the point of life.
Yeah, I think there comes a point where you moved on, and at the end of the day, I think it should just stay in the past.
You sit there and you go, in relationships, like, rebound sex and all these relationships, we sort of rely on our exes quite heavily until someone meets someone new that makes you forget about your ex, and that is all
right.
All good in the mindset, but that's why we forget about our exes when we get our new relationship. So I think once you've been dumped, moved on, divorced, it's time to say, que sera, see you later, plenty of fish in the sea, and move on.
I'm with you, Holtz. It's sometimes people try to hang in there, tell themselves what they can still continue, and that's not always the case.
I had to realize that when you break up with someone, stuff like that, and you become ex, everyone comes out the waterworks, only your family, your closest
Dude.
friends, and goes, "Oh, we knew they weren't for you." Really? Why didn't you tell me that before we split up? It's only that we're having this yo-yo back and two where we're in love, out of love, even though we've been broke up. And I think the best approach is to move on and just say we can't be friends.
Yeah. Lion said, "Why FCat quiet?" I was just kidding about him being a friend zone expert. He said, Holt's doing rebound sex. He a player. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Good stuff though. Definitely. Holtz, I don't know if you heard me, but I took all of the advice you guys was giving me. I was over the weekend, mainly yesterday, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna change the name, King of All Entertainment. Yes, I do 4 types of content, but I wear a cowboy hat. I've never been just a normal, like you always said, it's been about personality. So I'm fully and embracing in that personality, and I'm sticking to my guns. I'm starting every show off with a relationship topic or something non-gaming topic. Then we're gonna get into gaming, right? So next, I just want to get into a couple movie reviews. Want to fly through them real quick, and then we could go. So I'm gonna do a topic switch unless you guys got anything else you want to add to this.
I mean, the whole point is I don't want to come across as shallow or as a player. I love my exes. I mean, in my situations, and I never ever believed that instance that it wasn't love and it couldn't be a future, but it happens. It happens on. They've moved on. I moved on, and I feel like that I have to just accept that even though I could be the one that wasn't moving on. For example, I'm told the experience which, who, and what happens. But what I'm trying to say is I feel like it's important for males and females and anyone else in a relationship to have growth in yourself, that you realize to say, don't hold on to an ex like they were your better self in a future. So always look on the brighter side on life and say, I did love a person. I defined at that point it was love. But love going forward is I don't need them to express it going forward. And that is why when people sit there and go, well, why don't you keep X in your life? It causes more problems having an X in your life.
Hell yeah.
In dating going forward or relationship advice, if you ever treated them like a friend. So that's why, sadly, once you cross that friendship boundary, you need to say, that's the risk we take. No one ever planned to be divorced. No one ever planned to be split up. Yeah. It is what it is.
And what I think people are leaving out is there sometimes still being friends with your ex stops you from moving forward, because you'll still be like, oh, we're just friends, but you're giving that person that emotional time because, okay, you were friends, you were more than friends. Now you're only friends, but it's hard for you to kind of look forward for somebody else. That tie you still have with that ex is allowing you to feel like, you know what? I don't need nobody. I don't need a new person, but it's because you're still holding some feelings. But hold up real quick, because I'm going to add somebody else to the panel. That guy again. What's going on?
What's going on, brothers? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I just want to jump in real quick. I'm driving home from work, but
okay.
You guys still on your relationship thing?
Yeah. Jump in real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna start it off, Cowboy. You know how it is, being good looking and shit like that. It sometimes sometimes it's a curse. But I can say that it's okay to be friends with an ex in certain situations because I have a lot of my exes, but at the time when I was getting with them or we were together and we were working on building a relationship, it was more or less me that wasn't ready to settle down. It was me that was messing things up, so when you do that, you could do that and work on yourself and everything else and run across this lady or gentleman years later and just understand that at that moment in time, it just wasn't the right time. But later on in life, it could be the right time.
Right.
So in those situations, I believe it's okay. But I don't know. Being friends with my exes I've always done it, but it was more on some trying to have sex with them. Honestly, it wasn't just to be like the friend to them. I was getting mine. You're not going to be in my life if in those situations like that at that time if it wasn't like that. So I'm against it kind of because I know where with me only. I know where it is going to lead.
Right.
But I do believe that people, like I said, sometimes people they get together and it's just not their time. They're not ready to settle down. They're not ready to do this. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they cheated or did something wrong to you. It's just not the time. You know, and people come back later in life and they grew up a little bit more, or they, you know, got certain things out of their system, and they happen to run across this person, and they're now the person that they wanted them to be, and it just works
Listen,
out. You know, so in those situations, yeah.
listen. I think Purple killed it. She said, it's a case by case. So when I met
Right.
the girl I'm talking about, right, the day I came to her house to meet her, she said, "I want you to come to my house." Her ex-boyfriend was there, and I was like, but he was gay. She's like, "Yeah, he's gay now." I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Yeah, so we're
Oh,
mad
damn.
cool." Like they used to go to gay clubs and everything. They had no feelings, but
I
feel
still,
like
even if the ex was gay, I still wouldn't trust him.
well, here's the thing. It's
Still.
such a
I
woman
wouldn't
thing,
either.
right? Well, yeah, but I didn't have any. I felt like no, because here's the thing. I knew him. Well, I knew his mom because she used to work at the mall, and a friend of mine's worked at the mall. So they used to work together at the hair
Right.
salon, which is funny. That same hair salon, years later, my wife now ended up working there. It's a crazy story. Years later, right before So anyway, I knew his mom, so I knew he really was gay. I mean, maybe whatever, right? So that didn't bother me because when I met the dude, he was gay, right? But I feel like women are different. Women sometimes have because they're more emotional. When they cut somebody off, like for instance, me and my ex-wife, when I got a divorce, we had to share the house together, right? And so when we shared the house together, we messed around a little bit, right? We both were still single, but we shared the house. Once we got to the point where we didn't share the house anymore, like what happened? Once we was like done, she was like done. Like to this day, like she ain't trying to talk, speak. Like she's able to just turn that button off because they're more in charge of their emotions, or they more could get out of control with their emotions. Guys, I mean, we kind of, we're
true.
more physical, So
I feel like if I look back in my experience to my exes now, for example, I feel like I could relate more to my exes of 36 now than I could have done 10 years ago, for example. But the question is, I wouldn't want to risk it. I mean, I feel like I've developed past the point where I was when I was 26, for example. So I feel like it's so great to have these compliments and all these niceties. But I know that if I actually sat down with my ex after 5 minutes, it wouldn't go well on any of us. So, and I feel that's why there's no one at this point. I've grew up, I'm wiser. There's no one to blame the situations why we weren't in love, for example. But that's why I realised that, why do you want to be my friend? Because like we said last week, from a male's point, I'm like, if I ever had a female that was my friend, I feel like once we get to a point of friendship, to a very close interaction, and why can't we be boyfriend and girlfriend? So that's why I'm like, why would I want my ex to be a friend when I've already tried the friendship, tried the relationship, and I wouldn't go back?
Yeah. Hey, FK, I don't know if you know, but Cherry Man said this is a great discussion right here. Cherry Man, FK always like, well, you got to talk. We need to talk about the gaming, bro. We get into the gaming, man. Stop pressing me. We get into the gaming, but I feel like gamers don't mind talking about this. That's why when Cherry Man, FCat was like, well, why don't you do gaming first? But here's the thing: people who want to talk about non-gaming, they're not going to stick through gaming. But gamers will also talk about this stuff, I feel, right? I feel like there's few gamers that are leave because of this versus the people who want to talk about this stuff. They're not sitting through gaming.
Well, I was sitting there on this, I tuned into Discord and I actually seen the topics. I mean, a few hours behind because I was just watching Shadow and Bone Netflix, and I went, oh my God, I can't believe I missed that topic. Well, if it was a gaming topic, I'd be like, we have this every week. It's all right.
Well, that's what I was trying to say to FCat. But I'm glad through talking. That's why I kept asking all of you the other day on Friday. I was like, well, what do you think? What do you think? Because I want to hear what everybody thought about the content, because you guys know, like, so I told myself every podcast I do, right? Not if we wrestle Wednesdays. Go ahead.
Like I wasn't too much complaining. I was like, figure out a format, and like how you're doing this whole non-gaming thing label. That's cool. That might solve the problem.
You sent death threats to me and everything, bro. I was like, yo, it's his handwriting. I know it is. What's up, Bulls for Life? So guys, we're about to get we're almost exhausting this topic. The topic is simply should exes stay in the past? We kind of talked about it. I mean, I think they should. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I always try to be authentic. Or I'll say this, Holtz. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a very sexual person. If I dated a girl, trust me, we all right. So at
I mean, if my exes came on the scene and started talking about the good times, and it ended up that way. You've known you've been in that situation. You sort of broke them boundaries. For example, you don't feel uncomfortable. It's just afterwards you wake up and you go, "Oh my God, what have I done?" I'm pretty sure she says exactly the same. "Oh, what have I done?" Him, her, whoever it is, and you go, "Ah." And you know the attraction was just there in that instance because you were speaking positive. But we all know that that's not how relationships work. But here's one for you. Before we change topics, here's one for you. Do you ever feel like you give different advice to your friends about their exes, apart from taking their advice about your ex?
No, I pretty much keep consistent, but I think like Purple said, it's case by case. I'm pretty consistent on what I think, but I need somebody to explain the situation. Because here's the thing. You know what I don't like? I don't like when I say, "What do you think I should do?" And then you start telling me what you would do. No, no, no. The question was, what do you think I should do? Let's say, let's say you make more money than me, right? And let's say I'm like, "Bro, do you think I should buy the game? Because I'm kind of short. I can either buy the game or go to the movies." And you're like, "Bro, buy the game." I mean, you know, I would buy the game. Well, you could afford to buy the game. I'm asking you, what should I do? So yeah, that's a good question. But when I give advice
here's
to
one for you.
friends,
Do you think people should sleep around with friends?
I think if you're fully single, you're not committed to anybody.
Okay, and then should treating the ex like a friend? Should you sleep around with what you deem as a friend because she's an ex, but now she's back in the friend zone? Do you feel like that is totally different from a singles point of view to an ex relationship point of view?
No, so okay, if you both broke it off and you made it clear that you don't want both of you, like this is done. Like now, if one person still want to work out, no. But if both people like, yeah, we're done. We're done. And then let's say you meet up at the club or the bar or the movies, and they're like, "Hey, what you doing after this?" "Oh, I'm just going home or whatever." "I'll come hang." You kind of like, "All right, cool." You go do whatever, and then that's it, right? Cool. But if you know, like, man, she really likes me, Cowboy, what should I do? She really likes me, but she want to come back to the house. I'm like, "Bro, are you done? You said you was done, right?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "Well, don't bring her home because it's just gonna start all over again, right?" So the feelings got to be checked. Once there's no feelings and it's just physical, then hey, do you if you're single.
But do you think between the sexes, like we've got a different approach between our physical attraction, for example? So, for example, if I said to like this girl, "Oh, you're acting cute. You know, we're moving on. You know, I don't want you." And then she goes, "Well, just for this moment." "Well, if you want it, you know what I mean? If you want it, I'll do it." Or vice versa. And we just go for that moment because it's offered on a silver platter. But I don't feel like that is friendship. I don't feel that's whatever.
Well, I think so. I'm trying to understand this. So you're saying if you and the girl was just friends, so you've been friends for a while. Let's say you work together, or not say that, but let's say you've been friends for whatever. You met at a party, you became friends, you start texting each other about anime, and then she's like, "Hey, do you want to come to my house?" You're like, "Cool." So you're just friends. You've been friends for a while. You go to her house, you know, and then what? I'm trying to understand the question.
So one time there is a difference between taking a single approach, messing around with a friend, to someone that you've been in a serious relationship, seen them naked, slept with them, lived your life with them for so many years, and then you deem them they become an ex, but then you still deem them as a friend. Is there a difference between a single person's idea of a friend to someone that's an ex-friend?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
In both situations, did you sleep with them?
Which is that a question? Have I slept with my friends?
You. Yeah, or you?
I have slept with my female friends.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking in both scenarios you gave me. Are you saying that you're?
Yes.
Obviously, you slept with your ex, but the friend.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So honestly, the only thing that makes the ex a little stronger because you once committed. You say, "Hey, let's date." So your feelings went to another level. A friend, you were just a friend in the friend zone, and y'all decided, "Hey, let's take." So that's easier to just act like nothing happened and let it go. The relationship part may be a little tougher because once you try to back down after sleeping with each other, then that might bring up feelings. But again, it's all about having your emotions in check. Well, you was gonna say something, Ellis. What's up?
No, I was agreeing with you guys were saying because there's situations where you could, try to go into a situation with your ex or whatever, and you do end up messing around. What if one of you guys all of a sudden garner up these feelings again?
Right.
And the other person, they're not like that. Then it's bad again, or it's good again. Depending on what you both want.
Yeah. But I'll say this: if I was single. Listen, I'm right. It is what it is. I'm not worried about somebody's feeling. Here's my thing. We used to always do these podcasts with Big Mike, and they would feel like I was a bad guy, right? and they would say I lead women on. I said, no, this is my thing. I'm called a grown consenting adult. If you look me in the eyes and I look you in the eyes and say, hey, let's get together, hang, whatever. And let's say I say, you know, because I used to be like, I like female companionship, always have, right? So I say, hey, what you doing this Friday? Oh, nothing. Look, let's go to the movies, dinner, or whatever. Now, this is just a girl I didn't date. They was like, well, that's messed up because you're leading her on. No, I'm not. I told her straight up, I'm trying to hang. If you want to accompany me to the movies, I'll pay whatever. But I made it clear I don't want a relationship. Because, for instance, when I got a divorce, I was like, I was out there because I was married and I got a divorce. But I was telling everybody, I don't want a relationship. They said I was a bad guy. You lead her on. I said, I can't lead someone on if they're an adult. And I explained the situation. Now, they was like, well, what about down the road when they catch feelings? That's fair. I could catch feelings. We either could catch feelings, but we said,
right.
Both of us said we don't want anything.
Well,
So,
I know where my problem lies now because Cowboy, the guru, he said, looking them in the eyes. I'm like, damn, the girl's not checking me out and not looking me in the eyes from head to toe and vice versa. I've never looked them in the eyes in a sense, so maybe that's where I'm getting it wrong.
Hey, but listen, guys, make sure you like the stream. I'm trying to pay attention. It would be cool if the top number I get, it'd be cool if it's that many likes. So right now we got 9 likes, 12 people watching. So I'm really trying to turn this thing around. Trust me, guys, when I get my streaming room, by the way, my daughter, she got a new boyfriend. She's barely ever home. I mean, I don't want to push her to move in with him, but I'm like, bro, you never home. That used to be my game room. Then we turned it into a weight room. Then we turned it into a pool room. It needs to be a streaming room.
It's like, I'm not trying to push it out, but I've got the measuring tape out.
Exactly.
I've already picked the sound.
Trust me, I already know how I will hook it up. But anyway, so I want this. I want to give you guys some good content, but I also want this to be like our channel to a point, right? I want people, if you guys want to come up with topics, like let's say like Holtz, like he said the other day, somebody was like, oh, why don't you and Cowboy do a show? Holtz was like, look, I don't got time to be on a blah blah blah, but I join panels. But let's say Host might be like, man, I got a good topic. Then bro, let's talk about it, right? So at the end of the day, I just want to groom this channel that it's entertainment, right? Yes, I love gaming, but I also love these topics. I want people to show up and be like, oh, what are the topics for today? And it's just not just a gaming channel, and we enjoy it all. But you know, so anyway, guys, make sure you like it. I want more people to know about the channel as we kind of transition into more entertainment. So this, like the 8th time, are we moving forward now, guys?
Topic switch.
Are we ready for this topic switch?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yo, Ellis is like, not Ellis, FCAT, like, hell yeah, I'm tired of this relationship stuff. All right, guys, so we're going to topic switch. And I got 3 movie reviews I just want to blast through real quick. So let's do it.
Topic switch.
All right, so gonna do some movie reviews real quick. I'm not gonna take much time. I want to get to Shazam Part 2. I went and seen that, and it was pretty cool. Decent movie. So let's get into it. So, man, oh man. Now, what saved this movie for me is I went and seen it at the 4DX, and I actually got a little video. I gotta put the video out of my 4DX experience. It was a good experience at the 4DX. So far I've seen Avatar, which I think was the best. I've seen Ant-Man, which was pretty good, and I've seen Shazam. I'm not sure which was a better experience than Shazam and Ant-Man, because this had a lot of flying and stuff, so the chair was moving around. Ant-Man had more like shooting with blasters, so you felt the air flying by your head, feeling like you was getting shot at. Plus, Ant-Man was in 3D. Shazam wasn't in 3D. But as far as the movie itself, I go by 3 things. I go by the story, my expectations, and I go by the entertainment of it. So the story, you know what? It was a good story for Shazam. If you've seen Part 1, you'll like Part 2. Decent story. Didn't blow you away. It was decent. As far as my expectations, I kind of thought it was going to be better. I think because the story wasn't that compelling. And again, I get Shazam is a little silly, but for me, the comic book movies are leaning way too much into the silliness. It's a joke every 15 minutes. And it was just a little bit like, all right, this is super popcorn kiddie-ish for me. Entertainment was cool. Dude, they're fighting dragons, they're flying, they're shooting special powers, blowing up buildings. That part nailed it for me. I'm gonna give Shazam a solid 7. It will be definitely on the border of a 7 and a 6, but I don't like to do halves, so I definitely give it a 7. It was decent. So I'll give it that. Let me do this. I want to switch gears, giving that a 7. I should have pulled all of these up at first, but now a movie that I did enjoy was the movie 65. So let me just pull this up because I like to have this in the background. Now, you guys remember Star Wars, Kyle Loren? He was actually the person in the movie, and so it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna pull up 65. Let me just make it larger on the screen for you. And I think this is good enough. 65. That's funny. It's making it sound like hold on, let me find a better picture. I kind of want him in the picture. Why I can't get this picture is the problem. Oh, let me see something. All right, I'm just gonna deal with what I have. It's not that big of a deal. Let's just keep this right here. All right, 65. All right, so one moment. Let me just pull this up on the screen. Get rid of Shazam. Give it a solid 7. And let's bring up 65. All right, so 65. The story I was so into. Without spoiling it, when you guys know I like to spoiler free. 65 was about a guy coming from another planet, trying to get himself and passengers to a new destination. He crash landed on a planet. The reason why it's called 65 is it's 65 million years ago on Earth. So that means there was no humans, there was dinosaurs. And to him, on his planet, there's no such thing as dinosaurs. So he referred to them as aliens. Guys, I'm a big dinosaur fan. Listen, the story, loved it. My expectations, it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. The twists and stuff was really good. I won't ruin it, but I recommend you see it. And as far as entertainment, it had like at least 7 to 8 jump scares. Oh God, like it was cool. They took popular dinosaurs. It was really cool. It was pretty much, you'll see from the commercial, he found a little girl that was in one of the pods, and he got her out the pod. It was pretty much him trying to figure out how to get himself off the planet, but there's dinosaurs. Loved it. I give it a solid 8. It was a really good movie, and I think you guys should see it if you are into dinosaurs. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. So let's see. Whoops. All right. We'll use this right here. So, and my last movie I want to get to is this movie called The Monster. Now, I got HBO Max because of what is it? The Last of Us, right? And I got HBO Max a couple months ago, and I figure, okay, let me watch a couple things. So I watched Euphoria. I watched what else? I watched the thing with John Cena. What was it called? What's that movie called again? Peacemaker. I watched the Euphoria season 2. So I watched a bunch of stuff while I had HBO Max, right? So I held out, wait for The Last of Us, got a chance, watched The Last of Us, loved it. Now I'm like, okay, I want to cancel HBO Max. I asked my wife, is there anything you want to watch? So we was looking through stuff. We love sci-fi, seen a thing called The Monster, and watched it. And I will say this, Netflix have better movies than this, and I'm very, very disappointed in HBO. I thought this movie, being an HBO movie, I was shocked. It wasn't that good. And listen, the story was a young mom and her daughter. They got a dysfunctional relationship. They're driving to her dad's house. The dysfunctional relationship is pretty much the basis of the movie. They drive, hit something in the middle of the night. It's raining. They call to get help, and this creature is killing people and trying to kill them. And from watching the trailer, they didn't show much, so you get what you get. The story I thought was very basic. It was mainly about the mother and the daughter, and not that much about the creature. Story wasn't that great. It didn't look that great anyway, but it looked good enough to make me watch it. It definitely didn't even meet my expectations. It was very bad. Netflix has better movies than this. As far as the entertainment, it was campy, creepy, but honestly, it just wasn't that good. So yes, it was kind of like, it had like the creature with the violence and eating people and stuff, but I felt like the special effects could have been better. It just wasn't that good. So this, honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5. Well, you go watch it. The story with the girl and the mom was the good part, but it was still a little weird. But I think it was decent. But it definitely made me say I'm canceling my HBO Max. So with that being said, guys, those was my movie reviews. I want to bring back FCAT and Holtz, see if they got anything to say about any of these movies. So let's bring back FCATs. Let's bring back Holtz. And, see what you guys got to say about either of these 3 movies.
So I heard Shazam was bad, and I think I also heard the reviews for 65 was bad, and I was like, really? Because I was actually anticipated that movie. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're telling me it's good, I might actually,
I thought it was really good.
watch
Really
it.
good. You get what you get, right? A space guy crashed on a planet, dinosaurs. They nailed it. Now, if you was expecting something other than that, I don't know what to tell you. But what it was supposed to be, they nailed it.
Well, if he crash landed from a different planet to the dinosaur era, then technically speaking, the dinosaurs are alien to him, because alien is a term that is non-Earth. So he would actually see them as aliens, of course. And never seen the trailer, never seen the hype over 65. Same with the monster, never. I was going to see Shazam, but then I remember that Shazam was like average at best. And I remember watching the first Shazam because it had like ties to sort of like Superman, with potential ties to Superman and stuff like that, when I saw like the DC extended universe was going to kick off. And then once I seen all these actors and all these stories be like cold, I thought to myself, what's the point going to see Shazam 2 if it's going to be average at best? So I thought like a 5 or 6. I mean, if that's your type of fun-loving comedy and superheroes, then more to you. But I thought to myself, I would actually wait until it's on TV, because I was waiting for reviews and I wasn't really happy with what I was seeing at the point.
I tell you, the only thing that saved it for me was in 4DX. So that's the cool thing. 4DX does make it an experience. You feel like you're on a ride. I always get that bee sting pizza. So it's like I took my daughter, so it was cool. She got to experience it. So it was a good outing.
Did you say John Wick?
So he said John Wick 4 is a 10 out of 10. 65 was a 7, but both.
Oh yeah, John.
I mean, to me, John Wick, very controversial for me with John Wick is I love John Wick. I love 1, 2, and 3, and I thought like the peaked each movie, and I thought to myself, 4 is going to just be more epic on top of that. And all I've heard from the reviews is it's the best John Wick. Where it makes me be controversial, and I'm like, I enjoyed. I knew it was John Wick. I knew what I was expecting, but is it to me the best out of the 4? No. The direction that I was seeing, I was like, I feel like this movie could have easily been skipped. For example, in a franchise. I mean, once again, it was a point of greatness, but I felt like it was a money grab in the sense that wasn't the direction it was going to go. And I'm like, could I actually see the franchise going into like an anime approach? Where before the Baba Yaga, early days and stuff like that. And I thought they took us in a certain way to milk it more in other franchises going forward. That's what I felt it was. So to me...
No, I was going to tell you that I was late to the party for John Wick. When everybody was like, they loved it, I never watched it. And so I watched it. The first time I watched John Wick was maybe 2 years ago. We watched part 1, part 2. I still never seen part 3. So I got to watch part 3. But honestly... it's so much more the same. Part 1 and part 2 was very similar, action heavy, action. So
Well,
you know.
in like John Wick 4 and stuff like that, what I like about John Wick, it brought martial arts to a certain way where it brought like comedy sketches in, like getting popped through a glass window, or you done this because you had a pencil in your hands, or you done this with a dog. And I felt like I grew up and went, oh my God, this is Marvel. There's a point where you start realising, you start going, oh, I've seen that before. And seen that before, and better money this is going to happen. Yep, at a time now. And I'm not sitting there saying Keanu isn't a great actor and the martial arts and all this. It was an epic movie, but I feel like as the franchise starts picking up numbers, you start a feeling that you're losing originality, for example. So that's where I feel like John Wick 4 is a strong movie contender, but definitely not the best in the franchise. But like I said, each to their own, I guess.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. What about
I
you,
think
FK?
what John Wick is, he's killing all these people because they killed his dog.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. And they was able to make 4 movies out of it.
Right.
Let's see. So I still didn't see that. Let me just bring up some movies. So we're talking about movies real quick. I'm gonna go to my Regal app, which is cool. So you could always look at what's out now, and then you could look at what's coming soon. So John Wick, still want to see that. Scream 6 was
I'll
pretty
be there
good. Seen
coming.
Creed 3, seen 65, Ant-Man, seen that. I'm trying to see Cocaine Bear, didn't see that. I don't think I'll go to the movies to see that. Let me see. So I've seen everything that's currently out right now that looks good to me. Let me click on coming soon.
Yeah,
So
I've got my pre-orders for the Mario movie, 5th of April.
okay, and I want to see Dungeons and Dragons. That'll be this week. So definitely. Well, so guys, first of all, since we're talking about movies and stuff, this weekend is WrestleMania. So I'm gonna be like in heaven as a wrestling fan, and it's 2 days. So Saturday and Sunday is WrestleMania. So, but I do want to see Dungeons and Dragons. So maybe I'll go see that on Friday.
Can I tell you this about
Thursday.
Cowboy? I actually seen this red carpet event where they were speaking about Dungeons and Dragons, and they were actually speaking to the actors, and the actors were trying to act smart, like they know the fans, and they were like, "Yeah, I love Dungeons and Dragons. I was big into it when I was a kid, and werewolves and mafia." And I thought, well, there could be werewolves in a certain approach, but mafia. But you could tell on his face that he wasn't like what we see in Henry Cavill be the Witcher, or the girl that does Wednesday. And there's been a backlash in Hollywood that if it's not sort of specific, should I say, that
Right.
the actors are not invested in what they're actually being scripted, then it's going to be a flop. Now, I love all this fantasy movies and TV shows that we've had, like House Dragons, Game of Thrones, and how someone just mentioned Raised by Wolves and stuff like that. I love all that, but I feel like that if the actors on the red carpet can't sell you the movie, then it makes me think, well, what are you going to be like on screen? So I would love to see Dungeons and Dragons, but I need a review going forward.
You know what it is? I think you got to remember, actors are acting, right? They get called on the red carpet. They're not acting. So they're like, you catch them off guard, and maybe they wasn't so into
I know, but the point is, but they pretend that they understand what's going on to sell that point. So in the end, I'm like, Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to see the actors talk about it. I'm like, wow, that was so flat. And then that's what I'm worried about.
The reason why I won't hold that against them, because they have a director that tells them how to act. The director may say, hey, stop, cut, put more emphasis into it. I can't judge them candidly on the red carpet by their acting skills, because they're not acting on the red carpet, but they're acting in the movie, if that makes sense,
And I've seen like movies like Warcraft and stuff like that's failed on the same instances and stuff like that, not being fan heavy, should I say, or stuck to source material. So that's why I'm concerned. I would love to go to the cinema to watch it, but I definitely need a little nudge in the direction to see what fans
you've seen the trailers already, right?
Well, I sort of watched the sort of initial release, and then I sort of stay away from trailers because I feel like when you watch too many trailers, you get the gist of the movie. Yeah,
I agree. Well, yeah, definitely want to see it. I'll be seeing that. I'll probably ask my wife if she want to see it on Friday. Dungeons and Dragons looks pretty good. Because of WrestleMania, I don't think I'll be able to see a movie in 4DX this weekend. It's about 40 minutes away from me, so I wouldn't even do that. But I'm gonna be all about wrestling. But with that being said, I think we got to this point. FCAT, do you got some stuff ready to pull up, man, as we get into some gaming news? As I know you love that the most. And Maker of Chaos is in the building. And all those things that Lion mentioned, Raised by Wolves, he mentioned Watchmen,
No,
Westworld,
I really liked Raised by Wolves.
Okay, what is it about?
So what happens is, so the Earth's went to crap, and we've trusted our sort of faith in sort of cybernetics, machines, and stuff like that. And the world's went crazy because they got different faiths that they're all sort of destroying the worlds over. So what happens was a person decides, I know, let's send 2 robots to far out reaches of space ahead of the colonies to sort of cultivate that world without religion. And they send over so many sort of sacks of embryos, and yet the kids sort of get raised on sort of a Terran planet. But then you find out the planet is also being the sort of mysteries to the planet that sort of unfolds, and the sort of religion and the sort of cybernetics that stories unfold again and again, and it's very interesting. I thought it captivated me such a way.
Now, okay, I'm interested. So I thought, like, I like sci-fi, so I thought this was gonna be like, you know.
So imagine all the toxicity of humans of our peak of like sort of evolution, where like we've got robots, and we've got faith, and we've got all this destruction, and then we sort of just say, I know the rich can sort of go to a planet, but they've all got a belief system. So then there's people that go like atheists that say, well, what about us atheists? We don't believe in anything, and the planet's dying, so let's just. Okay. That's the premise. That's the premise of it.
Much more.
No, but that's the premise.
Did you watch The Watchmen?
I love the movies Watchmen, but when I actually watched the first 2 episodes, I sort of went, to me, I can see it a certain directional point, but I wouldn't sit there and say I was captivated to a point. I want to get back into it. It's on a watch list.
He said it's one of the best shows ever. See, when I hear that, it makes me want to check stuff like that out. No, I don't want to see Lovecraft Country at all. See, I had Chloe and Josh and Mike tell me about that, and it just doesn't sound up my speed. First of all, I'm not big into set pieces where it's back in the day, and so if it's not back in the day like Game of Thrones with dragons and stuff like that, I kind of like, and Lovecraft Country.
I got HBO Max for sort of Last of Us, House of Dragons, Raised by Wolves, and you mentioned one before,
the
Peacemaker, and I loved every single one of them. So.
Yeah. All right, well, Raised by Wolves is something I have interest in. I will say that. Let me see. Bull said, oh, wow, look, that's going to be hard to read. Look at that. I need to have a little background for that. Let me get this off anyway.
I like Real Time with Bill Maher, John Oliver, last week, Tonight with John Oliver.
I don't know. Nowadays, I just watch classic kung fu movies now, Marvel movies, and that's pretty much it now. Yeah, we definitely need something to watch. We're gonna wait till Mandalorian finishes and then just rush through it. Lovecraft, yeah, I don't want to watch Lovecraft at all. I've seen trailers for Lovecraft. It just doesn't do anything for me. But it's probably a good show though. That's the problem. It's probably I'll watch it and be like, oh, this was good, but it doesn't do anything for me. But yeah, definitely I'm going to watch a trailer of Raised by Wolves. And then I'm going to tell Sandy about that. And Watchmen, I did like the movie. It was decent. I actually bought the Blu-ray. So I don't buy many movies, but years ago I bought the Blu-ray. But I don't know. I never was sold into the show. I guess because I never invested in their characters at all. You know, so I just felt like.
I mean, I seen a trailer of my God, what was it called? Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage in Renfield.
Oh, Renfield! You know what's funny? I actually want to see that really bad.
Yeah, so I've seen that trailer. I thought to myself, "Ooh, this seems interesting."
Every time I go to the movies, they show it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I want to see Renfield." But anyway, guys, I don't want to drag this on. This is good stuff. We are gonna switch into some gaming stuff. We got stuff like, did Microsoft win? We got stuff like Xbox is getting rid of the dollar deal. So we got a bunch of gaming stuff. I know you guys like some gaming stuff. Real quick, before I move, I don't want to see Westworld either. Check out Warrior if you like Kung Fu. Yeah, I do like Kung Fu though. Let me see. Warrior was written by Bruce Lee. Ooh.
Cowboy, I mean, before we switch over, just one last question. Do you ever feel like you give up on a franchise when you find out that even though you waited, and then you find out a series is being cancelled after season 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you ever feel like, what's the point if there's no continuality in it?
No. So if I watch one episode of a show, I typically finish the whole thing. I'm kind
But
of like a completionist.
even if you knew that you were late to the game,
Yeah,
like Westworld, and you
yeah.
found out it's not going past a certain season.
Because think about it. Clarice came out like 2 years ago, and I already heard they canceled it. 2 years later, we watched it. We knew it was canceled, but I'm a big fan of Silence of the Lamb is my favorite movie franchise. So for me, I couldn't wait to watch Clarice, even knowing that I knew it was only one season and got canceled. And we watched it and loved it, and it was cool.
So give me your overall rating
Okay.
for Last of Us, the entire first season.
I will give that a 9, and I think it is the best video game adaptation that I've ever seen. Sonic was number 1, and this just jumped over Sonic. Now, you guys know on the list of best games I ever played, this is number 1. So I was very critical, and I was also biased. But I think they covered all the big main parts of The Last of Us. I think they did a great job of keeping it consistent to what happened, and I think the stuff they changed made sense. So I give that a solid 9.
To me, like I said, I loved the game. I thought it was a masterpiece at the time. And I loved when I heard the game, the movie, TV series was come out, and I thought to myself, yes, this is what I want. And then I realised what I actually really enjoyed was the stuff that we never seen in the game, the expanded padding out of the sort of story narrative. That's what really captivated it for me, because I was so used to the Joel and Ellie and all the other characters that we knew. But then seeing the extras, I thought, wow, this is a TV show we're actually going to remember, and definitely really setting up for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely give it a 9 too. It was definitely better than the Halo TV series because that was a flop and a joke. Does it make me want to play the game more? Not really, because I played the game a little bit. It's not really my type of game.
Bro.
But the fact that I can watch the game in live action on on a show, that makes me kind of feel like I played the game.
Listen,
or I know the story, I know what's up.
I check almost at least a few times a week to see if the game went on sale. I can't pay for it for $70. I won't do that, right? Because I bought it 2 times already. But when I started watching the show, had no care to play it again. As I was about like the 3rd episode, I was like, oh my God, I got to play the game because I forgot so much and I loved it so much. And now that they got a new, the remake, I got to own it.
I've double dipped 3 times. I bought it for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 3 remastered, PlayStation 4 remastered.
Right.
And I feel like it's been so many years afterwards now because of the TV show and because it came to PC. And I got it like literally 60% off. That made me go, ooh, well, $30, for example.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I could clearly rent it from GameFly. I'm like, no, I want to own this again. It's like, dude, I could download part 3. I could download the remaster.
PS Plus and
so
play it.
with actually having like ray tracing or like the aspect ratio or field of view or having the sort of mechanics that were in number 2, when I seen it on PlayStation, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to pay full price for it. Right. I'll wait for the heavy sale. And then when I knew it came to PC, I was like, oh, the modding community is going to make it. But what happens when they mod Joel and Ellie from the TV series into the game? And I'm like, okay, it's Pascal and the girl. I'm like, oh, it's going to be amazing. So,
all right, so I'm going to switch because we're starting to talk about gaming. But I will say this: I remember Holtz. I was like, man, Pedro Pascal looked nothing like Joel. Bella Ramsey looked nothing like that. Bothered me, and they did an amazing job. So they sold me. So
do you know what? Right?
They made me eat all my words.
Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal. I've been watching them so many interviews on The Last of Us, and guess what? It just made me fall in love with the humor. And they're like, well, I never really played the game. I didn't really know. But their passion as actors and their humor that they actually bring behind the scenes, I feel like to myself, this is why we fell in love with the voice actors of The Last of Us game. So I think to myself, I definitely love Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey now, and I definitely would see that in my mind now they've ingrained themselves that they are Joel and Ellie. And like I said, I'm a bit skeptical first. I wasn't ever bashing their talent or the way
me
they
neither.
looked. I was just a bit worried that they were touching a franchise that we loved. But
Yeah.
now it's
I
blown
just
out of the water. I can't.
Yeah, I had a problem with the casting. I just felt they didn't look nothing like them. I knew they was gonna do some great acting, but I was just like, I couldn't get past them not looking like them. But like he said, good acting will do that to you. So, Lion, let me know if you wanna, because we want to move forward. But I know you're setting up, or did you want to discuss some of the stuff we already did? We could do like a recap. But let me know before we move on, or we could move on, go to gaming, and then once we end gaming, if you're still here, we could do a recap. So let me know, because I see you're paying attention. But let me know if you want me to wait for you to jump on, or we can move forward with gaming, because I'm ready to move forward. I don't want FCAT cursing me out tomorrow, and because I don't need that in my life, you know. Anyway, we're gonna move on, and when he jump in, we could just recap some stuff. So, guys, I'm gonna do a topic switch. We're gonna come back. Hold up, let me see if he wrote. Hold up. Hold on.
Say move forward.
Move forward. All right, cool. All right, so let's do a topic switch, and then we come back, and then we're gonna get into some gaming. Let's do it.
Topic switch.
All right, the Cowboy King of Entertainment is here. I got hosts with me. I got FCAT with me, guys. Now we're going to get into the stuff that most of you guys come to this channel for, gaming topics. Just to preface it, if you're new to the channel, we like to cover rumors. And we do also cover stuff that is fact-based, but we will bring up rumors. We will do some speculations, and we just create topics, and it's for all of you guys just to discuss. So I just want you to know, I don't know inside stuff. Neither does any of the people that's on the panel. So don't get upset with us when you hear us discussing stuff that's not actually grounded in fact. Again, this is all entertainment. I'm the Cowboy King of Entertainment, and discussing topics is entertainment. Okay? So with that being said, oh man, I want to give a good shout out to my brother Dave. Guys, give a happy birthday. It is his birthday today. He is the same age as me by a few weeks. So my brother is 47 today. And dare shall I say, about 5 years ago, I took him to Pancheros for his birthday. And after that, we got into a car accident. Somebody crashed into my SUV at the time. This loser goes like this and uses forearm to stop the blow of him hitting this chair, hit me in the back of the head. As my body went back, he went forward, elbowed me in the back of the head, and funny story, but happy birthday. So with that being said, I'm going to bring back none other than my guy, your guy, the accent guy, host, and my man, FCAT. Both are in the building, and FCAT already got some stuff for us. So FCAT, what are we looking at right here?
So Microsoft Xbox ended the Game Pass Ultimate Dollar Deal.
No, how dare they? No.
Yeah, right.
So this only worked for New Year's. So basically, there was once again people found another dollar Game Pass loophole where you can pretty much create accounts, put them on your Xbox, and still use Game Pass or online.
I bought 3 years and then upgraded by $1. And I was actually waiting until November to see if they kept hold of this deal, so I can do another 3 years, for example, to get my money's worth, even though I'm not playing as much. So hearing this pains me, but I can understand the logic behind it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I did the dollar deal a couple times. I think it's great. What I find though, and I'll go into my little rant about Game Pass, is I think these subscription services, they kind of fool you a little bit. So, and it depends on what gamer you are. I'm typically a specific gamer, and I will, won't bring it up on and on, but you guys know me. So I rent games, and this allows me to say, hey, I want that game. And then when I get it, I play it and say, I don't like it, I'm sending it back, or I like it enough, I'm going to beat it. The thing with Game Pass is I see a game that I don't, and again, rental services, Game Pass, I use that as games I'm not sure if I would like or not. Games I like, I'm going to buy. Now, the issue with me with Game Pass is I seen Atomic Heart. And I heard, Mr. Urban World was like, oh, it looks good. And I said, you know what? I heard people talking about Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush didn't look good enough for me to pay $15 for, but I said I'll wait till Atomic Heart come out and I'll get to play both. Got it. Played Atomic Heart for maybe 2 hours. Didn't really suck me in. I wasn't that interested, but play Hi-Fi Rush. I like the combat, but I kind of like forced myself to try to play it, mainly because I want to say I beat Hi-Fi Rush and I beat Forspoken because I want to do a head-to-head review when I beat them both. But honestly, here's the issue with Game Pass. For a person like me who likes specific gaming, I kind of pay money hoping I'll like a game, and then I end up not liking any game. But guess what? They still got my money, and then it's like I feel like I don't have I don't have a game I actually invested in to feel like I justified it. Because with GameFly, if I don't like the game, I send it back and get another game. So I need to just leave Game Pass alone, unless there's a game I'm like, oh man, I was gonna buy that game, but it's on Game Pass. Because I know people say it got hundreds of games. I'm more of like, I want to play new games. So Game Pass for me is cool when they bring day and date games. Those are games, hey, they're brand new. I want to check them out. But my problem is I end up getting a game I don't like. So that's my little rant.
So the title says, "Is it a bad sign?" I don't think it's a bad sign because as an Xbox player, I know ever since they started this deal, they took it away and it came back, and they took it away again and it came back.
Well, I feel that says a lot about gamers as a whole. That if you put your whole, gaming experience for $1 and you thrived off that, then it says a lot about you as a consumer, not the subscription. Because I feel like the subscription is actually worth $15. And like I said, hey, to all like myself, that sort of dipped and used loopholes, and we've done stuff like that. Yeah, okay, we've experienced it, but I feel like there's a point in time where we have to say enough is enough. Microsoft has done the introduction to Game Pass. They've promoted the future that could be possible with GeForce Now and stuff like that. So in the end, they can't keep on giving you these dollar deals that, they've hit the masses, the mass mark that they're willing to spend. And hey, it is what it is, because no one else is doing these dollar deals. Nintendo's not doing it. PlayStation
not doing it.
Plus ain't doing it. So in the end, I feel like, okay, you've seen what we can sort of.
PlayStation did it just recently.
Yeah, but not for a whole 2.5 years since like the Series X came out, as it, where you, even with the upgrade, for example, a lot of people, even when PlayStation Plus, people sort of got the loophole, they sort of cancelled it after so fast.
They made, once they realized, okay, let's shut it down, and that was it.
Where Xbox just went, okay, it is our fault, and it's.
You've been doing this dollar deal for a while. What's going on, Goon Squad? What's going on? And let's see, yo, listening. Oh, nice. Why he's at the gym?
Yeah, but like I said before, we'll probably see it come back around.
I mean, I'm the same with you, Cowboy. Like, I can justify Microsoft when I talk about like Forza and Gears and Halo, and I feel like I've got my worth. And there's been some games that I've mentioned, like Yakuza's and Personas, where I've justified downloading them, but I feel like there's not enough to sink my teeth in. So in the end, I'd rather take the approach going forward now where I go, okay, well, I'll buy a Microsoft game from the Microsoft Store, have Play Anywhere with the option to actually have it on GeForce Now, and I'll just put my subscription price towards GFN and actually have, if it's going forward, should I say.
Yo, guys, actually, speaking of Gears of War, I was watching Reforged Gaming earlier, and he said Gears of War isn't dead yet.
No, this is Gears 6.
Yeah, I don't think Gears of War is dead either.
Gears 5 was so great.
It's an old IP. They haven't touched it in a while. That's it. I mean,
I think your definition of dead needs to be updated.
I mean, see, Cowboy, I'm the same as you. The definition of, like, a lot of people sit there and say a first-person shooter is only successful if they got the multiplayer. But I feel Gears and Halo have got a solid single player and sort of a great multiplayer if the fan base still want it. But I still feel Gears and Halo are still relevant, but they just need to shift in a certain way to captivate more. But I don't think it's dead. There's no,
not at all. Because the last one didn't do bad, and the last one, because I beat every single Gears of War. Like, that's listen, that is a needle mover for me. Gears of War make me come and say, okay, I need to play that. But guys, let's bring in none other than gonna respectfully call him by his name, Lion.
You gotta say the whole thing so it works. You gotta say the whole title, Cowboy. Come on, do it proper.
You know what? I can't even see the whole thing.
Oh damn. It's all right. So you'll see it later. You'll see it later.
No, I gotta do you justice. Hold on. Let me move the lettering just so we can see it. Oh wait, I can't even see it anyway. Hold on. All right, we got you.
Put them on big screen so we can see the whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Come on, it's still
it doesn't work. You gotta put the four windows.
Hold on, I got you, bro. Hold on. No, we're gonna do you right. Lion is a friend of the show, and we gotta do him right. There we go. The new king of content, Lion.
You got it. There we go. We dethroned the old one. We boot him out. We kicked him out. Sent him packing. And here we are. We have a new king in town, the new emperor of content. How's everybody doing?
It was good being the king of content for so long, but I had to upgrade to the king of entertainment.
I can see Lion in the background. Execute Order 66.
Yeah, right.
You got him out.
Execute the order, right?
So how you feeling,
it
Lion? You think Gears is dead?
No, Gears is not dead. There's people that play. I know. I love Gears of War. I don't like the last game that came out, but I mean the multiplayer. I know people that play that enjoy it. So it's just like it's not a very loud community. They just enjoy the game. It's not a game that people are like, oh my god, I cannot wait to get home to play Gears. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what
he said. Gears is a dead franchise. Let me ask you guys this: what makes Gears? And he said, "Rest in peace, Dollar Deal." So actually, finally, makers on point with rest in peace. Rest in peace, Dollar Deal. Let me ask you guys this: what would make Gears a dead franchise? Because I think, because it's old. Fortnite's old.
No, Gears is way older.
True.
No, I mean, I feel like the characters of Gears of War is timeless. I think the comedy and the brotherhoods and or sisterhood of being a gear in setting like the apocalyptic world where the locusts, this creatures below the cores actually rose and challenged humanity. I feel like that story is never going to get old, and I feel like they've sort of evolved it story wise each way. And I come from a single player's point of view where I've really enjoyed it. So once I hear Gears or I see any mention of it, I'm like, oh, day one purchase. But I don't go into the multiplayer aspect. So that is where when people go, oh, it's a dead franchise, maybe they're coming from a multiplayer online and maybe they don't like a single player approach. But to me, I actually see Gears of War as amazing characters, amazing cinematics, amazing mechanics, amazing soundtrack. So there's loads of things that I would say would define a game of the year easily or define a generation in gaming. So that's why at the moment I still don't feel it's dead.
I think Gears of War only would be considered dead if they ended the last game and it was like done. Like when they end the movie and that you could pretty much say it's over. It still was like a little cliffhanger. So they leave room for they left room for the game to still continue.
I played the last one and like I was 70% done with the game. And I can't keep playing it. It's just not. It's not like the first three. The first three games were amazing. It was just at a different level.
Part one shook the gaming industry.
It goes
like, what is this game?
Yeah, but now it's like it's just not. I mean, you might as well play Outriders. It's just the same.
So here's one for you. So just seeing this on chat when someone just mentioned, Goon just mentioned Resident Evil 4 remake.
Right.
Is the remake sort of bringing new life into a dead franchise with hope that they could bring a second life? Or should that
that was like a dead franchise though.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on.
No, I know, but a lot of people sit there and say they gave up after 3, 4, didn't really enjoy 5, 6, 7, 8. What we're trying to explain about Gears, for example, there's games that you think that it's going on a decline. So hence, because it's going on a decline, we have to say bring the popular franchises back. Same with Final Fantasy, for example. A lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy 13, didn't really like 12, and then they went, okay, well, how do we get fans back? Let's bring 7 back. So I'm trying to say, is that are remakes a sign that franchise is dying, or is that just a sign they are bringing what fans actually want?
No, here's the sign, all right? The sign is they found out that there's a loophole in gaming that people are actually paying money for remakes. That's all it is. People are paying money for remakes. No one was saying they wanted a remake of certain games. No one wanted a remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3, right? We was comfortable with what we had. We all wanted a part 9, right? Or a part whatever. When, you know, like when 7 came out, it just wasn't the Resident Evil we knew and loved. So instead of them saying, okay, well, let's make the Resident Evil type that they know and love, what if we remake stuff? And remakes are seeing a huge surge. Everybody's doing it now. I don't think the fans are asking for it, but now the companies are like, they are working, right? They're making a lot of money. You get Dead Space remake, and so I think,
so what I'm trying to say, if they remake Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4,
right,
they're not going to remake 5, 6, 7 Village, for example. So in the end, did they realize where they started seeing the franchise was dipping to a sort of a dangerous dead level? So they went, I know, let's just bring nostalgia back and remake it to.
No, so I think part remakes... 7 and 8 did good. Well, remember, the remakes came out after 7. I think they didn't need to make the remakes at all. That's just making extra money, appeasing to fans. It's cool for fans, right? And it's cool for people who never play the Resident Evils. I know some people who now are playing Resident Evil for the first time in the remakes. So I don't think they made the remakes because Resident Evil is dying. Resident Evil is still super popular. Even 7, which I don't like. I like as a game. I think it's a great horror game. It's just a bad Resident Evil game because it didn't push it kind of did push franchise forward, but it just didn't connect. But anyway,
the remakes accomplished 2 things for a company, because people forget that gaming is a business and these companies have to maintain certain profits, right? So with the remake, they don't have to work as hard to make a game, a brand new story, develop it from the ground up. They can add some new elements. They already got the story created, and they know it's gonna sell because the game sold before. It's also lets them know that, hey, we did a big switch to go to first person. We may have seen a dip in our fan base, maybe engaging or buying the games. That's why you see RE8 has a third person mode now, right? Because they probably noticed a dip in sales, and they nothing huge, but they saw a negative trend. Like, okay, so we got the remix coming on the back. We don't have to create something brand new. It's gonna make us money. And then it gives us time to, if we want to switch back to third person, we can still do that. So,
but, I mean, maybe it's numbers that people are saying franchise is dead. So, like, I just done a quick Google search and he said Gears 5 done 3-ish million, where Resident Evil 7 multi-platform done 11-ish million. So I'm trying to say, are these numbers, do you think it's dead because they're focusing on just an exclusive platform, for example?
No, I think gamers like FCAT are calling games dead when it's not much buzz and the player base count is low. So they don't mean dead. Like for me, so our terminology is different. When I call a game dead, that means the servers got took off.
Oh, so they're taking more of an online approach.
They're saying, like, oh, it's dead because no one talks about it. You could look on Ryan. It's probably thousands of people playing Gears of War multiplayer.
Cowboy's not gonna like this one, but for example,
no, like dead as an IP franchise.
Yeah, I assumed you meant IP franchise.
Like for example, Cowboy's not gonna like this one. He's gonna disagree with me because you know how Cowboy is. He doesn't want to accept the truth of the world. But some people will say Metal Gear is dead, yet conversations are happening every day about a possible Metal Gear.
No, Metal Gear is dead. Okay, yeah, Metal Gear is dead.
No, Metal Gear. No, Metal Gear is not dead.
Hear me out.
The conversations are happening every day and all day about Metal Gear.
All right, hold on. Let me jump in there. This is how Metal Gear is dead. 1, they have no online game that people continue playing. 2, they ended off the game and it was a good ending and it was done. It was a wrap. 3,
they just stopped the online component the other day.
Hear me out.
You didn't know they had so in the game, the last game that came out, you had this base system, right? And there was a thing that if you were able to, I think, get rid of all the nuclear missiles, it was like a big celebration. And some guy ended up hacking that to be able to trigger that. That was how hard the online, you could, take over people's bases and stuff like that. So there was an online component to the game, and there was some people that were really engaged. It's a huge community. It's one of the biggest games ever made.
Well,
no, that's a lie.
Sony give us a Last of Us Part 1 remake well before Metal Gear Solid, for example, remake, like Resident Evil remakes or Final Fantasy remakes has got. So I feel like if Metal Gear Solid got announced now, #1, as a remake for PlayStation 5. The hype will be so real.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't say it's dead. I would say it's just in.
No.
We'll
Hold on.
wait until the next.
No, you guys got to. No, you got to be fair. FCAT determination of a dead game. That's Metal Gear.
I mean,
Metal Gear has.
Nah.
Metal Gear has. Hold on. Let me finish. Metal Gear has no game in sight. Metal Gear ended and it was done and over. Metal Gear got issues with the creator and the publisher. Metal Gear is what is the definition of a dead game. Now, if they if they did a remake, amazing. It will sell. It would be great. It will bring back. But remember, Metal Gear wasn't like an ongoing game. That was more they had a part one.
I mean, say the creator, for example, Hideo Kojima is the creator of Metal Gear Solid, for example. Is he the defining factor of a franchise, or are we just ignoring all the other talents and the publishers' work?
Well, it's a shame because it's almost like remember when they made that Metal Gear with the design. If I bring that up, Lion gonna act like it never happened. Lion, since Metal Gear is amazing, what happened to the game with zombies? Do you claim that?
Terrible game. I don't claim it. It's a terrible game.
See, he don't claim it because what Kojima had nothing to do with it. But he don't claim it. So you ask him to answer that question, Holtz. I don't
Rising
know.
Revengeance.
Kojima, can you answer his question?
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance wasn't Kojima, and we claim it. So what's the deal with that? Okay. So Rising wasn't Kojima. That was
what Metal Gear are you talking about with the zombies? Oh, Death Strand.
Metal Gear like survive. It's like they made it after 5.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was like a kind of, I think, like a multiplayer experiment that Konami was just on a cash grab.
They took the rights. They got the rights to Metal Gear. So I don't even think he can make another Metal Gear.
No, he can, but Konami can, and somebody else can take the helm because you gotta realize Kojima wanted to stop making. Kojima's only, my opinion, only claim to fame is Metal Gear. Without Metal Gear, Kojima's games will not reach the level that
Silent Hill
reached popularity.
Silent Hill?
I don't think that's him.
Yeah, Silent Hill is Kojima.
Yeah,
Silent Hill. The last Silent Hill, the PT demo was Kojima, but the original Silent Hills wasn't him. I'm almost certain. Right. Son of the Enders, that was Kojima. That was amazing game.
Yeah, that was alright. Flying around a robot.
We ready to move on?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to beat on Metal Gear anymore, but that is a definition of a dead game. It's going to be sitting right next to my game, Marvel Avengers. But go ahead.
Speaking of Reforce, this is what his stream was on about.
Okay, so UK regulators side with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation concerns. So one of the part of my title says, did Microsoft win? So, and this is kind of what we're talking about here. This doesn't mean Microsoft won. Not yet. I'm actually in my lunch break. I actually recorded a video, and when I end this, I'm gonna edit it. But I'm finally throwing my hat in there and putting out a video about this thing. But give you guys my perspective. But I mean, it's a good thing, right? If you want this deal to go through, which I do, and I'll tell you why. I want it as far as the level of competing, right? So when they say Microsoft can't compete with Sony, Microsoft admitted it. Oh, they got better quality, blah, blah, blah. Sony admitted that their Microsoft subscription is better, blah, blah, blah. I personally would love to see these companies be able to go at it head to head because it's going to build competition. Now, 10 years from now, people are like, if the gaming industry is ruined, I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure some people could say the gaming industry was ruined when the cartridges wasn't the primary platform. When the gaming industry was ruined when they start doing DLC. The gaming industry was ruined when they start doing updates. The gaming industry was ruined when they start doing online. I'm sure we could go on and on and on. But I have faith that games are still going to come out. Games are going to still be compelling. Games are going to still be epic. So for me, I like this that is going in a direction closer to Microsoft.
So this is basically UK is basically happy with the cloud concessions.
No. So that's
no.
So they gave a provisional. They gave a provisional concession to the console market. So there's no. Right. There's no like a very danger of dense drowning the competition, right? But in regards to the cloud market, they have not made a decision, and that this decision has no impact on what they're going to decide in regards to cloud. They do have until April 26th to give a final verdict. So this is just a provision. You know how originally they had a provisional decision that Microsoft was bad for buying this company. So now the provision says that they don't see in the console market any kind of danger of them owning the company, but they have not reached a decision in regards to cloud. That's all they said, but people ran with it.
But the Xbox were all on Twitter like, oh well, we got now.
Efka, how long you been doing this? Efka, how long you been doing this,
bro? Like,
how long you been doing this? Come on, man, you know better than this.
Oh, we got his FTC now. It's going through. It's going.
Yeah,
through.
but the thing is, it's just a console war thing, so that's fine. Let them say whatever. Like the console war is never gonna end, right? So that's fine. Maker said. I also want to give a shout out. Goon Squad said he's looking forward to Zelda next month. I know a lot of people are. Maker said people are complaining that now Sony and Nintendo will be buying more studios, but IMO, it's always kind of been like that. There's always been exclusives. Just now that there will be first party instead of third party. Yeah,
I've always felt sorry for Microsoft the last few years, because even though people are attacking Microsoft, they've got I feel like they've got a small percentage of the gaming community compared to Nintendo and PlayStation. And both Nintendo and Sony are Japanese businesses.
Right.
So, and they've sort of branched out over the decades to a mass market across loads of countries.
How did that came to be? What made that happen? What made that possible?
No, I just feel like there was no laws and things in place years ago, so they've expanded with these epic hardware and epic gaming, for example. That's why they've branched out. And I feel what Microsoft is trying to do now, they're trying to say, well, if we invest our money now, we couldn't branch out and grow. And people are saying, no, that we can't let that happen. And to me, I feel like Microsoft is lower in a premium name compared to PlayStation and Nintendo.
Right.
So do I actually want the FTC to look at other companies after this acquisition? Maybe. Because I feel like it's unfair that Sony got away with studios, even though they were less in billions or high millions, for example. Right. I feel like they got away.
This is completely off, because you're not buying studios, you're buying a developer. Like just Bethesda by itself, Bethesda had like 7 or 8 studios within, and people are comparing that.
It's still a portfolio, isn't it? Come on.
So no, because you're buying ID Software, you're buying Tango GameWorks, you're buying Bethesda, you're buying Cinemax, you're buying what's the other one they have there for
Machine Head,
Machine Games. So you're buying you're buying a whole bunch of studios. This company bought Insomnia for $200 million, and it's being compared to that. It's not an equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe
of course, but we're talking about at that time, the marketing wasn't to buy game studios, so it was very low.
No, I get what he's saying.
And then also there was no inflation at that time. We're comparing to like when they bought that time compared to now. If you say let's compare the studios at a selling price, if you built up that portfolio, then it's going to be high, very high into the billions. So I don't understand why, if Microsoft's got the revenue to say they're asking for this, we're going to give it, why can't we just have it?
I'll answer your thing. You know what the thing is, some things sneak through the cracks. At the time, it wasn't that big of a deal. Again, I think the point is, yes, at the time, buying, and remember, Insomniac greatest claim to fame at the time was Infamous, right? No one cared, right? Infamous, 1, good, 2, maybe. So it wasn't that big of a deal.
That wasn't them. Infamous was the one that did Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima creator. What's his name? It's one of my favorite studios too.
Sucker
Punch. Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch. That's Infamous.
I thought Infamous was Insomniac.
Insomnia is Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that's them.
They're Infamous now,
right?
No.
Anyway, look it up. We all got access to the internet. So long story short, though,
no, some place in America don't have access to internet. Cowboy, come on, man.
Us right now. That's on here.
So my thing is, if they're gonna investigate into the cloud concessions, I really think that they should look into Boosteroid. And
of course
get the skinny on them, because that's what's gonna break this whole thing open. I believe once we find out the secret, behind Boosteroid. Like
The secret behind Boosteroid.
It's
Ain't nobody checking
chaos.
for Boosteroid. Boosteroid will be gone in the next 5 years. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, I think you might be right.
Sucker Punch, yeah. Because I'm a huge fan of Infamous. So I know Insomnia had the Ratchet and Clank games, and there's one other game they had that I cannot think of it right now. But they had there's one more game, I can't remember it. But they mostly made games for Sony before that. And what Sony did, they bought smaller studios that were cheap, but they had talent. And that's how they built it up, because they couldn't afford what Microsoft can afford. It's business any day of the week. I mean, yeah, if you have the money to buy whatever you can.
Yeah, but at that time, that's what I'm saying, they were buying studios, weren't they? Buying studios quite heavily. And I remember in the PlayStation 3 era, people were chanting, PlayStation's got no games. And Sony had no choice but to buy games, studios, and when it came to the end of the PlayStation 3, where like optimization, the studios got names and the franchises built up, I felt like that's where they went into PlayStation 4 era with these franchises. But if they never invested at that time, which I'm pretty sure was a lot of money for studios at that time, they would have suffered quite heavily to the franchises that Microsoft got. But they had amazing IPs. Maybe they actually thought that they could carry that for the next 10, 20 years. But the fans started getting bored, and then that's where they had to start doing investments. So in the end, it feels like it's Microsoft's time just to start flashing money going forward. It might not be the best approach, but it is business, as you just said, any other day.
Well, he said, Maker said PlayStation bought 8 studios in the past 2 years. And he said Insomnia definitely would be value higher now. They got a great deal because their previous title didn't do a great sales.
And that's the key. If you can buy studios that are small and build them up on talent, you're gonna create really great games. That's how you really create great games. If you grab a great game that's already great right now, we as gamers are not getting anything newer that was already on the market. So if you grab a studio like there's one that it got created by the former people that were on CD Projekt Red. I forget the name of the studio right now. And that studio probably has a lot of talent and a lot of potential to make really great games, great stories. That's a studio that would be a great purchase for any company. So like I think of Obsidian, for example. Obsidian Entertainment, to me, that was one of the best purchases Microsoft could have done because it's delivered for them. Whether you like Pentiment or not, whether you like the other games that are coming out, Avowed coming out, that's one of the best buys you could. That's probably it's gonna be their premier studios, well above what Bethesda can do for them.
Well, I feel like if it wasn't for Call of Duty and the Activision part of the game, I feel like that if just focus on the Bethesda part, like they said, oh, Microsoft's gonna get Fallout, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, should I say, Dishonored, and Doom, Wolfenstein. I don't think people would give a crap. I think it's the Activision side, Call of Duty.
Yes.
I love Guitar Hero and I love Crash Bandicoot, but no one's actually caring about them games. They're just focusing on Call of Duty.
I mean, bro, there's the biggest game there is in the market.
No, of course, but as a consumer, if I started saying, "Wow, Microsoft, are you going to bring Guitar Hero to a fan like me?" and they go, "Of course, Holt, we're going to do it," and I'm like, "Are you going to bring me a new Wolfenstein?" Of course, Holt, if you asked for it, and if I sort of belittle Call of Duty, for example, I'm the minority speaking like that, where the majority are speaking Call of Duty. Where I could name many games in this franchise that I would love to see Microsoft, if they could just speak out and say, we will bring this to multi-platforms or exclusives, then I would like, well done, because I feel like these franchises are on the verge of dying, and I feel like they need a breath of new life to go forward.
They don't have space for it, because just Call of Duty takes like 9 studios to be made, right? And then who in the Microsoft family of studios is going to take over, because they're struggling to get their own games out, right? So obviously they do not have the capacity to bring newer games out. So the idea is that by buying Activision, these dead franchises are going to come back to life. But they're struggling just to get Call of Duty out, because everybody's working on Call of Duty and Activision, right? So who's gonna bring these other franchises to life?
Well, that's a simple answer line, because actually High Moon Studios works on Call of Duty. They can bring back the Transformers, the old Transformers.
Transformers already working.
The Cars Visions works on Call of Duty.
This is not what they said. This is not what they said, Lion, as you said. But if Microsoft came out and said, we've got Call of Duty, a little bit of money that we make from Call of Duty, we're going to put it in our research and development team to create Guitar Hero. Even though that's not what they're going to say, but optically that's what I envision, or that's the messaging of it. I would be like, well done, Microsoft, for bringing Guitar Hero, such a nostalgia franchise. And if they start to bring in other nostalgia franchises to the forefront thanks to their acquisition, then I'm down for it. Because in the end, I don't want these. I don't want these IPs to die, because I fell in love with Dishonored and Doom.
Man, I'm not trying to hear that. Let me tell you something.
Think about it. Who's gonna make the game if the studio that makes the game is working on Call of Duty? You have Warzone and you have Call of Duty to take care of, right? So they have 9 or 11 studios working just on those franchises.
It's sad that just named. I know it is what it is, but it's sad that just named 8 games that in the end. And this is why I'm sick and tired of Call of Duty literally 10, 15 years ago. Because in the end, I really enjoyed even Evil Within and stuff like that. I've enjoyed all these great games.
GameWorks. That's,
no, they're still Bethesda, are they?
If we can get Sledgehammer off of making Call of Duty and going back to making Dead Space, that's a win for me.
There you go.
So some of my hosts, honestly, hosts, you got to eat it just like me. Some of my favorite games are done, and I don't think they're coming back.
What's your favorite game from Activision? Isn't it called the Transformer game? The Prototype. That's an Activision game.
Prototype.
Yeah. That's an Activision game. Like I mean, it's not the best game in the world. It's just like it could be a really good AA game. You know, hack and button masher. But why don't they bring it out? They just
that would be nice.
So Maker mentioned Candy Crush, and that's the
that's what we don't talk about.
Candy Crush,
the IP from AB. That's what we don't talk about.
Number 4 in the mobile space.
But Call of Duty, Warcraft,
Call of Duty Mobile,
StarCraft, Diablo, Candy Crush. They got some gems within this whole.
I just tried Diablo 4. It was actually pretty good. I never played Diablo before. I actually enjoyed it. I played like.
Oh, I think today. I think somebody told me the thing ends today. The
ended yesterday, I think.
Beta.
Yeah.
I think it ends. Somebody told me open beta ends today, and I was like, oh, I gotta play it then.
I liked it. I mean, I would buy it. But then again, it might come to Game Pass. So.
Ellis said, "Rest in peace, Maker." Yo, all right. So here, let's switch because we've been on Microsoft for way too long. No, hold on. I got one. Let me throw one on real quick. Oh, you know what's funny? That's what I was about to pull up. All right, we're on the same page, FCAT.
That's FCAT's game right there. Woo!
All right, so Ubisoft has pulled out of E3 2023. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I think Ubisoft was kind of falling off this year, and I think if they go to E3, people are going to expect to see a lot, and so maybe it's best if they don't go. Maybe it's best they do their own show. We can hear some rumbling about Ubisoft putting Ubisoft Plus is finally going to Xbox. Me and FCAT was talking about it. He was saying if it was added in Game Pass, I don't think that would be the case, seeing how it costs more than Game Pass Ultimate a month. So that would be like you would totally absorb all the costs and then some. Wouldn't make sense at all financially, especially when Ubisoft isn't that hot of a company right now.
Right.
But what's your guys' thoughts of Ubisoft not going to E3?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. But all I really want to hear from Ubisoft is a release date for X Defiant and a release date for Avatar. That's it.
What's X Defiant?
X Defiant is a first-person shooter kind of COD-like free game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with FCAT. I mean, I want to see Avatar, but at this point, it's not worth having just a showcase at EA.
Yeah.
E3 spending that, not E3, not EA, E3 spending that money, because in the end, they've already showed like Assassin's Creed Hexe, Red, Jade. They've already released what's coming in the next, in the future. That I realise at the moment they haven't got IPs to showcase to the full talent of a Ubisoft booth. So we know Avatar's been delayed, so we all know all that takes is sort of a promotion video or a trailer going forward.
But you know what's sad though?
Speaking of delay, guys.
Well, FCAT's completely jumped off. Here, I'll bring up mine. You know what's sad is the fact that they're not going to be there, because that just shows that they don't have a lot ready at all. You know?
I mean, we've seen that a lot of studios and publishers and hardware manufacturers are dropping out at E3. So I feel like, why waste your money? Wait until there's a big, huge press con.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what's the point of going now when so many are dropping it anyway? But I was saying, would be cool if Microsoft went, because then they could be the big boys, because Nintendo and PlayStation.
Because I feel like E3 is a marketing gimmick. So in the end, we think it's for consumers, but I'm pretty sure if Ubisoft are going to send their developers over, they won't actually make sort of deals with developers and stuff like that. The sort of networking as a whole in E3, that's not just the consumer side. So I feel like that if they're big, sort of like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo's not going to be there, I feel like they're going to sit back and go, okay, we've announced what we can, and let's just sit back and let it happen.
So look at this, guys. This is bad news
real
for
quick,
Luna right here.
And it ended at 3 p.m. Eastern. The beta for Diablo ended today, 3 p.m.
Beta.
Oh, well.
So this is some bad news for Luna right here, because this is supposed to be the cloud exclusive for Luna.
That is true. That was one, that was such a big deal when it was mentioned to go to Luna and not Stadia. And
well, this is DLC.
Is it?
It was supposed to be DLC, actually. Yeah, it was.
No. Mirage was his own game. What are you talking about?
Mirage. Initially, it was DLC for
Valhalla. I don't care what it's supposed to be, but it was said to be its own game. So
I heard Mirage was like the small game, kind of like the China,
they said
Russia.
So let me jump in here. Mirage was supposed to give you a throwback to the Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3. So
Mirage wasn't Mirage the one Behemoth, finishing the Behemoth storyline. Basim, sorry, I apologize. Basim, yes.
Yeah, so the gameplay was supposed to give you that part 1, part 2, part 3, the original Assassin's Creed gameplay. So for the people who missed that, that's what the purpose of Mirage was for.
I mean, I heard it's DLC. Like Ryan just said, it is DLC, but I thought it was going to be a standalone game.
No, it is going to be a standalone.
You didn't need the past Assassin's Creed.
It started as DLC. This is one game that they said it started as DLC. And then because they didn't want to do the annual releases, it's gonna end up being its own game.
But what I'm saying is, don't say now. You're doing what FCAT's doing. I'm about to get on you. You was like, it's DLC. That would make people think it's DLC. No, you should have said it was originally supposed to be DLC.
I'm joking, because if this was a Sony game, the conversation would be, this is DLC.
No, I'm about to get on it though. Remember, Miles Morales was originally DLC, and they made it a standalone game.
So Ellis mentioned Skulls and Bones. Like, who cares about that game?
Damn. Well, you know what the problem is? Once they keep delaying the game, it does lose some fire.
Skulls and Bones is the worst part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag that I hated playing. Like, you literally grabbed the worst of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and made it into its own standalone game. I'm like, why?
I don't know.
That's gonna flop.
I hate delays to a point where it's been delayed. Where I think to myself, well, how many delays do you need when the game's not broken? Because I remember I come from like Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, where that got delayed for like 8-9 years plus, and I feel like to myself, but it still doesn't stop it when they actually finally get the release date. I'm like, finally, it's here. So if I was a fan of Skull and Bones, and I
this is the problem. Gamers are right now, this gaming generation. We have to understand software doesn't come out perfect out of the gate.
Correct.
So if that game comes out and it has like 1 frame rate, it's like instead of being 60 frames, it's 58 frames.
59, yeah.
Well, the worst.
Seriously though.
The worst franchise I've ever bought into was Star Citizen. About 7-8 years ago, I pre-ordered Star Citizen in this
first NFT game.
In this open world sci-fi, and in the end, I don't think it's ever going to come out now.
It's a jobs program.
And I thought to myself, even if it come out, could it live up to the imagination that was there 8 years ago?
Well, I think that's the issue sometimes.
I called Star Citizen the first NFT game, but guys, I would be shockingly surprised if Luna lasts long enough to even get this game.
No, that's a good point. Now, Ellis said Xbox nor PlayStation will be there. Xbox or PlayStation. So he's saying they won't be there, but will they get? So they games won't be there unless it's third-party games. So remember,
E3.
Yeah.
Shout out to Maker.
Oh man, well no, because they made a comeback. They was going. I thought, and honestly, I was laughing at them saying like E3 is done, E3 is dead. But guess what? They proved I was wrong. let me see. I just mentioned that game because of the failure. LOL Ubisoft on their way out. Unless
They
they
also
now
have
you
Beyond Good and Evil that they announced like 10 years ago and it's never
Oh, that
released. So I wonder what's
no, I
happening
think
to
they
that.
canceled that. I think they canceled Beyond Good and Evil too.
mhm.
That had potential. I mean, that's excited to hear that they canceled it. See, this FCAT that said I had to look it up though. I don't know if it's
I don't
canceled.
think E3's got the sort of charisma anymore to actually have these sort of event premises premieres going forward. I feel like these companies now are going to say, we'll just put it on your YouTube channel and that's our trailer and that's all we need to do. Why do we need to sort of network or turn up to this event and pay huge money for a booth and do all this long lines just to test the game when now we can just drop a demo instantly on our storefronts? I feel like, what's the point of E3? I feel...
No, you got a point.
So let's
What's the
see.
next topic, Cowboy? Hit us
These,
with another
these
thing.
these next ones are just little ones. Let's see. YouTube Premium subscribers get free Walmart Plus and Xbox PC Game Pass. That's
So I
pretty.
want to,
Ooh.
when you send me that, I want to dive into it a little bit because I do have YouTube Premium. I got it a couple months ago, and actually, like, I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I like it now. I didn't think no commercials was going to be as cool. And then over the weekend, I was guys, I got the honor
Yo,
of
I wanted to
Saturday.
ask you what's up with the community tab on YouTube. You got that, Cowboy?
Yeah, that community tab is old.
Apparently,
I
that's like shutting down everything for that thing.
hold on, what?
Vet,
That is what?
he's shutting down everything like Discord, everything. He's gonna devote everything to the community tab.
Oh, well, that's good for Vet. I mean, that doesn't dictate everybody, but the
I've been a
community tab, I mean, is good to use every so often, so you could let your people know. Like I use it if, hey, I'm gonna be late, so I put it on YouTube community tab, and people say like, oh, okay, if I don't follow him on Twitter or Discord or whatever, I at least see
No
it
way.
on YouTube. I post something.
I've been a YouTube Premium member for like years now, right? And I go with my other 5 family members. I go with like my brothers and sisters and stuff like that. And sort of we divide the full cost by sort of like how many people, like 6 people are actually using the subscription per month. So it's like $3 for $3.50 each per month. And my brothers and my sisters said, do you know what? I'm not going to pay this month. I don't really need it. And then when he realised the problems of advertising, it's not just on a PC, on a portable device, on a mobile device, on the TVs, they start realising how much advertising is consuming your media time. So I feel like I would never get rid of PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'll never get rid of YouTube Premium. And I feel like back in the day, YouTube was giving me sort of Google devices. They were giving me Stadia per month. I got a lot of benefits with actually tying in with YouTube Premium, for example. So I feel like it's definitely a good subscription if you can actually get that sort of family subscription. But
Bro, they gave you a whole Stadia premiere.
Yeah, I had no clue. I had no clue I would like it that much, and I pay for a lot of subscriptions. So it's like I'm gonna cancel Game Pass. I'm gonna cancel HBO Max, but yeah, man, YouTube Premium isn't going nowhere.
This one I came across earlier. I didn't know if anybody knew about this, but Contra Tournament Battle Royale game.
Is
That's a
that a
good
thing?
idea.
Is
That's a
it
good
out
idea.
or it's coming out?
Apparently, this is a thing.
The from Atari? Is that what it is?
Like
Ew,
Contra as a battle royale.
That
That's
would
a
be
good idea.
dope
That's pretty
because
dope.
that already got a name. Like I'm already invested right now. I'm like, oh, I would play that. Yeah, because you know what? It's like when we were talking earlier, if games you want to be remade, right? So that's the perfect remake. Well, technically, it wouldn't be actually, I would play a remake of Contra because it's so old. So for me, like I don't mind when they remake stuff that's really old. I almost feel like they didn't really need to remake The Last of Us, but I guess the remakes they eat every time they did it, it was more like, okay, we remastered it because it was originally on PlayStation 3, so we put on PlayStation 4, and now we're gonna put on PlayStation 5. So that I guess it makes sense. But yeah, that would be cool, man. I'll
But
definitely be into something like this.
that was done because of the TV show. You know that, right? That was the main reason that was done. Like everybody's
Oh,
like so upset. It was done for the TV show. That remake.
maybe,
It makes
maybe not.
sense.
See, Roblox launches its first generative AI game creation tools. So it's kind of like the Fortnite thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you guys think about AIs doing so much now?
I mean,
people got AI art.
Imagine not using your creativity these days to create a level in Roblox or Minecraft, and you just said, AI, I want a futuristic cyberpunk feeling, but in a Mozart artistic style with buildings and certain weapons, and it just went, here you go, in seconds, and it's like, I created this, and you go, no, you didn't. The AI generated it.
Dude, I just heard our AI rap the other day in Discord. This AI was rapping and killing it. So
wow.
Hashtag Mr. Urban World.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I love it as inspiration. I love the idea that you can sort of generate stuff to get sort of a feel to your art style, and I feel like it comes hand in hand that we're going to use AI to help being creative, but I don't think it's going to actually destroy our creative passion as humans going forward. I feel like that's going to be a shame that if I could, like, as a non-guitarist, I can just say, create me a guitar riff, boom, oh, it's me playing it. No, it's not. It was the AI. I feel it's a shame from humanity to lose these gifts, but I can understand from a sort of work aside it to inspire us, should I say.
Honestly, I could totally see the world moving in a direction where stuff is going to be gone because of technology. I used to work at a market research company, and when I first started, I was a research interviewer. I mean, I came to work, had appointments on my desk. I would call the doctors, and I would read the surveys to them. They gave me the answers, and I wrote it on a piece of paper. Got to the point where technology was getting good. It's called a caddy system. It was like a computer where you just filed the info in, right? Filed the info in, right? Years went by, they shut down the phone room because all they did now was send someone a fax invitation, and if doctors want to do it, they just went online and did it by themselves. You didn't need a human anymore. So that whole division was gone because technology. So I see the same thing eventually, right? What's going to happen is, yes, you might still be creative to play guitar. Yes, you might be creative to draw a painting, but if someone could say, hey, how much will it cost an AI to do the same thing? That's what's going to happen, right? So
I mean, it's a shame that words are going to paint that whole point. A picture paints 1,000 words. It's going to flip on its head. 1,000 words are going to paint a picture, and it's I love like CGI and I love animation. I love all that, but I wouldn't want to go and see a live performance of a CGI character. Stuff like that. So in the future, will these AIs be putting these idols?
If I could go to a concert and it got Optimus and Megatron and Bumblebee on live stage.
Oh, do you think? Do you think you know what I mean?
But making new raps.
Bumblebee dropping the raps, Optimus Prime on piano going, we don't need anyone else.
What's going on? K9 is in the building, so I had to come through and hit the like. Yeah, and I definitely got to check out your thing once I'm done. You had me cracking up. Guys, you got to check out K9. Before the show, he was actually doing his live stream, and he was going over my video I made showing that I got to play. I was talking about it earlier, but FK cut me off. But I had the honor to play in a charity event and go up against King Thrash. And I give him credit. He invited me. He said, hey, they want you and me to be the main event. And they didn't really know me. It was him. I guess he thought he was going to destroy me. But him and I have been trash talking. But that was cool. They raised over almost $5,000. It was a good event. But, with that video got over 1,000 views. And they're a small channel. So for them, channel is like 260 subscribers. Actually, I got them to 300. But anyway, long story short, it was really cool to be a part of that. But yeah, he said about to watch my VT girls kick. Hey,
isn't it great they invited you to the point now where you're a human being? Next year they're going to invite AI Cowboy. They're like, remember Cowboy, but in AI format.
It's going to be the AI king of content. And I'm going to be like, I used to be the king of content, but now there's an AI king of content. I'm the king of entertainment. I don't know what I'm next year, but
you have to prove that you got a talent to be the crap out of AI king of content.
Yeah. You know what? Rashes.
What else we had on topic?
Yeah, go ahead. Here, let me go to our Discord. I think you was doing a better job than I am. Let me see. I know what was the thing Mr. Urban was talking about today.
No,
what is that thing?
Can I just slide in here with the AI? If say me and Cowboy at the same time we were on like Discord, the chat GTP, and we inserted the same criteria, will the AI give us different bars, or will it actually generate the same sort of criteria? I wonder
Oh, you
if you
mean
don't
if two people ask the same question, does it
at
give
the
the same
same
answer?
time why it's buffering. Does AI realize that, like, does it come from, if we put the same criteria, will it just give us the same search, or
Oh,
will it
here we go.
actually
I don't know. You know what? When I asked Alexa, right? When I asked her like what's her favorite song or blah blah blah, she always gave me the same thing. But I know she's not as advanced as Chat GPT. I don't know.
Because in the end, I wouldn't like to. I mean, no one owns AI content, but I wouldn't like to sit there and go, "Have you heard this song that I created?" And you went, "Holtz, I've done exactly the same time as you and used the same words, criteria." And I was like, "Oh, you got the same thing, did you?" And we realized it was processed at the same
Well,
time.
remember we was covering that story. Hold up, real quick, FCAT. Remember we was covering the story where people was upset because AI was making art, but it was kind of taking some of people's artwork as it made.
Right.
So that's the thing. But go ahead, FCAT.
Since we got TK in the audience, we could talk about some Nintendo stuff. So it looks like
I'd rather not, but okay.
Nintendo's Wii U and 3DS eShop is shutting down today.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I seen that in the Discord earlier. You got it? You got the article?
Do you know, it's a shame. I don't actually have my 3DS or my Wii U anymore. I don't collect past generation consoles. I always pass them to my family members. And to hear that the shops closed down, it doesn't bother me one bit, but I heard Nintendo going forward was going to actually bring your sale, your purchases going forward as a backwards compatibility. So hopefully that all my 3DS and sort of Wii U titles might actually be tied to my account digitally, and maybe I'll actually see these on a backwards compatible sort of Nintendo Switch Online experience. Maybe, hopefully, that's what they're doing. But I've realised that why keep up a service? I've seen like sort of PlayStation Vita close down their storefronts, so Nintendo's just doing the right thing by saying it's years old, no one's using it, time to move on.
I agree. He said, "Where's my video of me whooping your MK?" It was live. Everybody watched it. What do you mean? Wasn't I streaming when we played? Yeah, I went over that on the stream. Let me see. They got some good deals. Also, yeah, this morning I woke up and when I was driving, Doc Dark was covering it. He was taking his son to the store so they could buy some
another
stuff for
Nintendo
3DS.
one right here. Cowboy, pull it up.
Let's see. Trigger Man's in the building.
Trying to recreate Mario Kart and Fortnite editor.
Dude, I want to see it.
Banned.
Wait. Let me ask you this. If I turn on Mario Kart right now on PlayStation, are there going to be stuff that people created?
Well, I seen Fortnite years ago banning Nintendo. Nintendo was banning Fortnite creators to create whole levels in Mario because you had to realize that they were replicating full on sort of Mario experiences, and that was literally 10 years ago. Plus,
they got a whole Mario Kart thing in
yeah, I
Halo.
know, but if you pay, you have to realize that you pay for the content, or you sort of partnership with. You broke partnership deals, then that's great. But if someone just thinks they can create a whole Mario Kart level or Mario level, then yeah, I can understand why you would get banned, because in the end, it's like you can clearly know it's Mario. You're actually doing point by point references.
Yeah,
then there's a point where you have to realize that you are actually copyright infringing and destroying someone's intellectual property.
Halo made Rainbow Road on Halo Infinite. It's still playable to this day. Nobody.
That's interesting.
I mean, you just said no one's playing Halo Infinite, so people are playing mine. People are playing this.
I don't get the whole idea or the whole appeal of building a game that already exists. Like
exactly,
some creator, like grab some of the elements of that game, right? Make something new. That you have that creativity, you have the time to make that. Because why would I want to play Mario Kart on something else when I can just play Mario Kart, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense though. Hold on. I don't own a Nintendo. So if you put Mario Kart on Fortnite,
then you don't like Mario Kart.
No.
You don't like Mario
Kart. So that's not the case. If you put Mario Kart on PlayStation, right? And I could be like, oh, and somebody say, yo, you want to get a match in Rainbow?
You like Mario Kart?
I feel like,
do you like Mario Kart?
I mean, it's decent, but I won't get a Nintendo.
Exactly. So you have you probably play one day, you would never touch it again.
But the whole point is, I feel like the system sellers that sell a device, so say Cowboy with you, God of War, for example, is a system seller. It's why you need the PlayStation 5. It's why you want that device, and it's a franchise you love. If someone said, I'm going to recreate God of War Ragnarok on Fortnite, you'd be like, why don't you just play God of War on the PlayStation 5 and just be happy with it?
I'm different from Lion. I'm not a crybaby gamer. I would be like, oh well, make God of War on Fortnite. I don't care. I ain't playing it. You know, wouldn't bother me.
I'm not crying about it. And it's pointless. Make something new. Make a new experience. Let me see the true potential of this. Because if you copy somebody's homework, where's the creativity on that? Let me see what you can really do with these engines.
I agree.
Let's make something fun.
So I'll say this. I agree with you. I don't even like when studios are taking money to remake or bringing out something old, make something new. But I think some people show their talent, like in the wrestling games, right? I never play the wrestling games and be like, oh, there's a no-name character by these people are making. They look amazing. When they may recreate a character that's already on the game, or they put the Hulk or Spider-Man, I'm like, dude, these people are amazing. So I think some people try to show their talent by showing you something that you know, right? Like, again, what they say, the greatest form of flattery is imitation, right? So if you can make Mario Kart look like Mario Kart, it's like, I think people are doing that for status. It's like, I'm so good, I could recreate something you loved in a game that's not
I
it.
know, but
like,
if they sort of said, I could actually create a kart racer that was similar to Mario Kart in the same like aesthetic, but with my own characters. I think that's what Lion's trying to say.
And there's actually a game.
But then you can still call it a Mario-esque style racer.
Yeah,
but, and you still get trying.
Look at the guys that they made this game out of I think it was Skyrim. They made the Forbidden City. It wasn't called that, right? They made this expansion or mod for Skyrim, and it was so good. They ended up making that into an actual game that you can actually buy for PlayStation and Xbox because the Forbidden City. I think it's actually pretty damn good. It's a really good game.
It's like that Pokemon game. The guy made that game where you're shooting Pokemons and they made it into a game. But what I'm saying is you take a game, right, that's no name, is not going to get the same buzz. Yeah, your friends and a couple of they friends. You can be like, yo, my friend made this cool game. You slap, I made Mario Kart. We're talking about it right now, right? So that's all I'm saying. Is I think
the cloud.
They should have just put Mario-esque style game, and it would have got away with it.
Remember when that guy made a Mandalorian game and act like it was real, and it was on Stadia. So he made it look like it was on Stadia. We all in the community was like, what? And they was like, is it real? Is it not real? Kind of fine. And MM2K had the guy come on, and he said, I'm actually a art teacher, and he was like, you know, I just had the ideal of let me computer engineer or whatever, right? Because I just want to see what happened if I made it and put Stadia on it, and come to find out it was not real. Everybody was like, oh, it's a leaked footage. If it was just some regular game, no one would care. That guy name would have.
I love to say that if the teacher was like, this is not the way.
Mario Kart.
This is not the way.
You know what I mean? Just
this is literally Mario Kart, guys, and this is on Xbox, PlayStation, free right now.
Wow.
So if you want to play Mario, might as well play that Cowboy. There you go. You like that so much, go ahead and play it.
You said it's free? This is free?
Yeah.
What is it called?
No, I mean
it's called
download it right now.
It's like $2 something like that.
Starlit.
It's free. Look at that Cowboy. There you go.
Is it free or not?
Yeah,
it's free right there. $3.99.
I mean the whole point is it Mario Kart themed?
It's not on Game Pass,
tracks,
by the way.
Or is like sort of like you said, Mario-esque style racing?
It's got everything.
No, but the difference with Fortnite, the Fortnite creator actually probably added Mario content to make it feel like Mario. It wasn't a kart racer; it was a rip off of Mario. Where this game probably is clever and realized we can do a kart racer that is similar to Mario Kart aesthetically and mechanically, but we're not including the tracks or the races or the voice.
Right. Yeah, it's not the Mario characters themselves. They were good.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure in Fortnite people were actually doing representations of like a guy with a mustache, red cap, and a friggin' blue overall. His brother was green. You know.
Yeah, I sometimes look at videos people making games in Dreams, and Dreams they make some pretty cool stuff over there. Like I don't know how people, how to make a game in there, but they make some really cool shooters and puzzle games and all kinds of stuff in the Dreams engine. So I'm pretty sure there's people pretty creative over there.
Was Dreams the PlayStation game?
That's the PlayStation one from the people that made Little Big Planet.
I mean, I love Little Big Planet, and I've seen the hype behind it. When Dreams came out, I felt it lost traction. I've never seen nothing built in Dreams. I just felt
people make stuff there. It's just like you have to be like creative to be like going into that kind of stuff. It's not something that you're gonna be like, you know what? I cannot wait to make a game. Like nobody wants to do that. Like we'll be game designers. Man, Cowboy downloaded the open beta for Diablo. Never even tried it. Golly. Cowboy, you're muted, I think. Cowboy, no one can hear you, Cowboy. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. You know what? I'm the new king of content. Taking over the show. Guys, we're going to talk about why your ex can be your next. Here we go. This is a new topic here at the new king of content show. How's everybody? Let me do my intro. Let me get my cowboy hat. Hold on 1 second, guys.
I mean, that's quite sad if your ex was your next. I mean, babe, I'm going to leave you, but you know what? In the next year, you're my next. Oh, you're my next in a week. I don't know. It's.
Cowboy, you're muted. We can't hear you. Your microphone's off or something. You want to call tech support? Call tech support. They'll help you out.
I think because he's unplugged his Stadia controller or something to put his PlayStation in or
that
something.
Thing ain't dead yet.
Well, it's controller support. Didn't you actually bring up a message in Discord that the Stadia controller is getting used for Boosteroid?
Yes.
So it's still getting used. It's still alive in its own special way.
And it's support for Stadia controller, ain't that something?
Is it by Y connection or is it by Bluetooth?
The Bluetooth, the new Bluetooth.
Okay.
I think he's disconnected.
You can play Boosteroid wired with a Stadia controller.
I'm gonna have to sign up to this Boosteroid to try it out, just because FCAT is like an employee on the cover for Boosteroids.
Man, I don't recommend Boosteroid to nobody.
When we see FCAT's face, like he's the CEO of Boosteroid. There, we didn't know we were actually speaking to him.
You can find Boosteroids in your pharmacy aisle, your local pharmacy.
Hello. All right, you know what it was? It was something where when I plugged in my PlayStation controller, somehow it muted me, and so then it wouldn't unmute. So I had to.
You gotta press the mute button on the PlayStation controller.
No. It wasn't even that. I just refreshed this, and then it worked. But anyway, what's the name of that game? FCAT?
Starlit Racing.
All right, Starlit Racing. Let's see. So Starlit Racing, right? Just LITE.
There it is. There's your buddy.
I seen it.
No, go back. Hey, right there.
There you go.
First one.
All right, Free. There we go. So I'm gonna download it.
Free.
Is it a PlayStation 5 version or?
Yeah. Oh no, PlayStation 4.
Oh, it's PlayStation 4 game. Oh, they don't have a PlayStation 5 version.
No, I mean, Mario Kart doesn't have a PlayStation 5 version either, so you can't complain. And the PS4 is more powerful than Switch, so you cannot be mad at that, Cowboy. Come on.
True.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see.
And it's a small game.
Cowboy, they even have a little cowboy in the picture. Look at that. They have a little cowboy guy in the picture.
Yo, they do. Look at that.
Yo, it's made for you, bro.
There we go.
It's your game.
There we go.
Wouldn't it be funny? It was all the races with cowboy hats, and all you heard them was, "I hate Mario. I hate Nintendo. I like prototype." Wow, Cowboy.
Cowboy's ready to play. Let's do this.
Let's see. Let's check this out. I'm curious.
This is gonna be your new Fast and the Furious. There you go.
Yeah, right.
I'll be right back, guys.
Look like a child's game. It's like Mario Kart. Oh, is it like two people driving in a car?
So like double dash back on the N64.
Yeah, right. It's like an animal or something in the car. All right. It's adventure time. Do 150. All right, so
I love the way it
trip.
says easy 150, where 150cc was never easy on Mario Kart.
These graphics are better than Mario Kart, I think. This race.
All right, let's go.
There's no sound in the game. I can hear the music.
Let's go, baby.
I know, but it's also latency, isn't it? The latency effect on it, but it does look
it's
very
melon,
pretty,
you know.
very pretty wise and color wise, isn't it? For the PlayStation 4. Now, here's one for you guys. It just came off for PlayStation 4. How come we never heard of this game? You always see on like online the Satan killer, Destiny killer, Switch killer, blah blah killer. Why didn't has anyone actually heard this game beforehand? Before it was free?
Get up out of here. See, I want
to be losing.
I want to make sure I got.
Oh, he's number one right now.
There you go.
How you liking it, Cowboy? You giving us your first impressions? This is a first impressions show right now.
I mean, it ain't no Fast and Furious, but
we can't compare it to Mario Kart. He hasn't played that in about 20 years.
Oh man, I played so much Mario Kart.
Look at Cowboy got all wet and shit. Like, oh, he's doing his thing.
I mean, it gives you the ideal, right, of a Mario Kart style game.
I can definitely see the sort of track feel of Mario Kart, the boxes, the color-esque, the sort of racetrack feel, and the race lines.
Come on, Cowboy, final lap.
You know, even the top hand corner got the timer and stuff like that. I feel like even the boldness of like your positioning on the top left corner. I feel like it does feel like it could go.
Don't choke, Cowboy. Don't choke. Oh,
now, here's what's cool. You just build up that boost by drifting, and when you let it go, it just instantly makes.
Well, we all know the blue shell in Mario Kart screws anyone out of first. I wonder if you got like a weapon.
Hit the triangle. Hit the triangle. Hit the triangle.
Cause I'm a cowboy. Oh man,
that's your new favorite racing game. There you go. You got your Mario Kart needs satisfied just now.
I think that it feels like it doesn't feel like the cars got weight to it, kind of. You know, it just feels a little like the cars don't feel dense, kind of. I guess I gotta mess with it a little bit more. Here, let's try it. Let's try this. Let's try this. Look, I got that on point. Yeah, they really wanted this to be Mario Kart.
Now I wonder why, like I said, if it was, I feel it looks very pretty and very similar to Mario Kart. I can see like the similarities. Why wasn't this promoted on the internet?
It's like Mario Kart from Nintendo 64.
They got no budget for the marketing.
I like the boost system.
No, I mean, all it took was one person to get online and play it as a sort of a personality on YouTube and Twitch, and it would have kicked off. We've seen that before. In the end, I feel like, why is it free now that we're only hearing it of like sort of the end cycle of PlayStation 4, where I feel like this could have been very competitive marketing wise, I guess, or maybe this game has only just become fully patched now. Maybe it was beta early access beforehand. I'm not sure where.
It's probably like a really bad game, and it's just gotten better over time.
I like the boost system. I'll say that.
The booster system.
I mean, the boxes and the coins on the track and stuff like that. It's literally.
Oh, that was cool.
What are the power moves? I mean, you had boost. That's one.
You got electricity right now. You got
electricity, so that's another one.
You got a boomerang. You got like a shield.
Yeah. So I wonder if you've got like shells or like sort of projectiles. That's sort of a home track, or.
I mean, it doesn't look that bad of a game. I'll be honest with you. For a race, for like a little indie game,
I mean, I wonder how as an indie developer, how they sort of, I know it's inspiration and they've been inspired by Mario Kart, but I wonder how they can get away with sort of having the same feel aesthetics, like in like sort of, if I was creating a game, I would think my project management team or my development team would say, listen, yeah, we could get a copyright strike or a lawful suit here, let's not go ahead with it. Or do you think this was just so low key?
Cowboy, you should reach out to the developer and interview them. Like, so you made this game.
Interview the developer, be like, hey.
You reach out. He's probably happy that somebody's playing his game right now.
He's like, he's like, did you pay $1 for it, or was you just that tight you got it for free? And like, I paid the $1 for it. Okay, I'll come on the show.
Come on, Cal. You're like an old man. Come on, man.
Look at this. It's just like Mario Kart, guys.
That's very, very good similarities.
I mean, is the music on the track? What's the music like?
Oh yeah, I got music.
I wonder, like, the engine boosts, like the thrusters. I wonder if that sounds similar. Music.
I like a Cowboy.
Oh man.
Look at Ellis.
He's deep into it. He's enjoying it. He doesn't want to admit it. He's loving it right now.
Look at Ellis calling me out on in the chat there, Cowboy.
What did he say?
He said, "Holds, I need to see you backstage." I'm like, well, I'm actually going to leave the stream right now and join Ellis.
All right, I got something for y'all guys this week coming up.
Don't actually make me change my glasses to my sunshades and bring Hollywood Holtz back out for you, Ellis, because I will. I'll be heading over there right now. Chocolate bar in mouth, ready to beat the crap out of you.
So I'll say this: if Mario Kart, if I went back and played Mario Kart, and this is exactly how it feels, I think I'm done. It's real kiddie-ish.
Like Mario Kart.
Fast and Furious. Like the Fast and Furious.
So Mario Kart has that nostalgic feeling, right? But I haven't played it in forever.
I was talking about sounds. I feel like that I grew up with Mario Kart 20, and I feel like Mario Kart is my kart racer. I understand that I loved other kart races in the past, which you mentioned, but when someone like yourself, Cowboy, mentions like Fast and Furious, then that's when I sort of go, oh, okay, that's childish. Because it was the series was adapted for a childish point of view, where when it comes to Mario Kart, I feel like we evolved with Mario Kart, that it's become an aesthetic. A Mario Kart aesthetic, just like we've sort of say, like, this looks like a Metrovania aesthetic, this looks like a Fingo aesthetic, and I feel like it becomes so historical that how can you change it in a racing car?
Yo, Cowboy, that was okay. You need to check out Warriors. If you like martial arts shows.
Hold up, real quick. Hold on, Line. All right, go ahead, Line.
You need to check out Warriors. If you like kung fu shows. It was written by Bruce Lee back in the day. They've been trying to make this show forever. They made it. It's like 2 or 3 seasons. Really good martial arts. A lot of fun. It's not like a super deep show, but if you like good fights. And Banshee. Banshee is
oh, yeah. You told me about Banshee before.
Banshee's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's on HBO. It used to be Cinemax. It's on HBO now. And then, oh, man, I can't remember. There's another one from Cinemax that came to HBO. Off strike, or let me look at the title.
I'll tell you this real quick. I want to get crazy. I want to get crazy, but I think what was it called? It was Mod Nation Racer is better than Mario Kart.
That's what I was going to actually bring up. I was actually thinking, scratch my head, thinking I was going to ask you this question. It's like, Cowboy, like, I know you liked Mod Nation Racers, and so did I. But do you feel like that we loved it at that time, Peace in a Place in Free era, because it was very competitive to the Mario Kart-esque era on sort of the Nintendo platform at the time, like N64, for example. And so we sort of was it N64? Yeah, it was the N64. And no, GameCube. It was GameCube at the time, where we seen what we were seeing Double Dash on GameCube. So we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be great that PlayStation had a kart racer, and that was our last time we sort of we invested as games to see a rival to Mario. And I love Mod Nation Racers. So I thought to myself, And because it never picked up traction, that is why I've always stuck to sort of Mario Kart, because in my heart that's where it is, and no one's ever sort of
put off the top spot. They decided not to make a part 2, and they drifted off and made Sackboy Racer. Sackboy Racer could have been non-racer racer, but they figured it would go with Sackboy because it was more recognizable.
I mean, I've played loads of like Diddy Kong, Crash Bandicoot, Sonic Races, but you've never actually took off Mario, have they, on the top spot? I mean, I bought like was it Garfield and Friends on GFN, and I bought like Nickelodeon Races, and the IPs never sort of take away from what Mario is. So I feel like Mario Kart can't be touched because their characters destroy anything that is kart related.
Well, I feel my next racer was better.
Yeah, I do see some perks, highlights, you know.
It's Strike Back. The other show's called Strike Back. You're gonna love it. It's like a old school war shooting, very over the top, but it's just so entertaining. Strike Back, Banshee, and Warriors. If you like those type of shows,
I gotta watch these trailers.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, any of y'all seen that Bruce Lee versus the Shaolin Monk movie by WWE?
Nope.
You know what? I never did, and that movie. You know what? I need to watch that. That was one movie I meant to watch, and I didn't.
That movie is bomb. Like the dude that plays Bruce Lee, like pulled it off.
Yeah, I forgot. That was cool because WWE. Yeah, it was WWE Pictures. Yep. Well, anyway, guys, I don't want to go on forever because WWE is on right now as it's Monday Night Raw. Any other last gaming stuff before we close it out?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to actually pull out our friend Ellis. I can't believe that I'm up late, same time, same effort, and it's very tiresome for me. And then when you call me out, I'm like, let's get like Cowboy last week, let's go. I can't, and I'm like, oh, I can't, and I feel like, damn.
I got something special for you guys this Wednesday. I'll tell you that.
I'm not dropping it. It's got to be epic. We all know it's going to be epic because you only do epic, so we know it's epic.
I only do epic. I do Epic Entertainment. Ooh, that sounds like Epic Entertainment. Oh, no. Hold on. Like Epic a production company.
Epictainment
LLC.
Epictainment.
There's already a company called Epic Entertainment.
Is it?
Entertainment LLC.
But I bet it's not called Cowboy Epic Entertainment. See, once you throw the cowboy on there, add that extra.
I think that's a male stripper company.
It might be, but hey, you gotta start off somewhere.
Hey, Cowboy always wanted to be in that limelight, so hey, if he wants to be
man. Hey,
listen, that's put him down. He's still got the stamina. Go, Cowboy.
I keep telling my wife, listen. I want to strip before I get too old and I can't do it. Let me do 1 week, just 1 week.
Your Momma Productions. There you go.
And you can see it. You can see it for one night only. Here is the Cowboy Epictainment, and it's like boo.
Your Momma Productions. There you go.
Yeah, now your Mama Knows Productions, man. He said, "I got your hopes. You're a champ, and we can get it in Wednesday." Man, I wish Lion showed up, guys, so we could show him all the stuff that's been going on. Give him that beat down. We got some new young bloods in the.
That thumbnail gets filling up, but like I need to take a Wednesday off and like be there.
Guys, what we're talking about is gaming, since we're on gaming topics. But Wrestle Wednesday will be this Wednesday. We got the championships. They'll all be on the line. We got 7 championships now. Once upon a time, Lion told me you got too much titles. We got a bunch of people playing. I think it's fun because what we do is we put all the belts on the line. Oh, also. I watched a video today and they said they updated. They got a bunch of updates, but one of the updates they did is to fix the stability online. They said they know that they've been having a bunch of issues and stuff online and some stuff in the game, and they said that was the one they tackled first. So the game we shouldn't have as many issues this Wednesday.
Well, what I love about the Wednesday night shows, I love the different approaches and personalities, the smack talk. I love the way how a person could come in as sort of a noob, walk away as a champion, next week lose the champion belt, and there's so much shift.
Every match is a championship match.
No, everything is a shift in power. But Lion, what you're missing is that sometimes we'll do triple threat, and that's not on Cowboy's stream because Cowboy might be doing the main matches.
Right.
If you hear in the chat, you might hear like me, Ellis, and like
logo.
So, yeah, and we'll have 5 star, and you're like, oh my god, that was the best ever match we've ever played to date, man. And that might not be a championship match. It was just, not pardon my language, shits and giggles, and you think to yourself, just having that point where you can just click join, and flow it. It's amazing.
So real quick, guys.
K9 said they say that every year.
Real quick, guys. Give me all y'all guesstimate month of when this APK deal will come to an end and we get a final decision. Give me a month.
August.
For boosteroid, you mean?
No. The APK whole deal. APK deal. Give me a month of when we'll get a final decision.
August 20.
Whenever they are done.
August 2025. before the next generation cycle, they're gonna bleed this. I object. No, I don't. I appeal.
I'll say this. I'll actually answer the question. This by November it'll be decided. You heard it here first.
FK, you actually got all the connections. You're spending all your time on 4chan. You probably know some inside 4chan. And like just you can probably tell us when it's gonna be done.
Any of you guys want to take a guess though? Answer this question or no?
Yeah, just said before next gen. I feel like there's going to be so many appeals and.
August.
I must say January, just like Stadia.
Okay.
January next year.
It's gonna be done in January, just like Stadia. A year to the
January 18th.
January the 18th. So we poetic.
All right, well, guys, that is the show. Lion, thanks for coming on, man. I know you be busy. Holtz, thanks for coming on. It's super late where you're at, but
you know, I've just noticed that Lion's got a belt as well. Yeah, who the hell gave that guy? Is that like
Lion never lost his belt. Lion was stripped.
Listen, you didn't want to defend your belt.
I remain uncrowned, unbent, and unbroken.
Is that one of them? Is that one of them?
He lost one of the promos. He lost.
Is that one of them non-attachable belts?
I'm sorry.
Is that one of them non-attachable belts?
Non-attachable. What do you mean?
I mean, you've lost it, but for some reason we've let you keep it, and it's like,
I never lost it. You just never.
Ella said April. K9 said still can't believe Xbox guys are cheering this on.
Because they're broke. They need a free
legit
game.
The softest community out there now. Yeah, at the end of the day, you know what is crazy? It's like they have no. Hey, listen, it's all gaming. I'm gonna say this.
Right. Before I go, right? Because
he's just Microsoft.
Lions just said this, so I have to mention this. If we see a decrease in Game Pass sales because they took away their $1, are we assuming that Microsoft consumers are cheap? I'm just.
Well, I'll say this. One of the biggest X-bots I know is Doc Dark. And this is the guy that said he was buying 3 games for $20 or what was he saying? 3 games. I was like, 3 games for $20. Like, so the thing is, a lot of people who they share Game Pass and their whole thing is, well, if the deal goes through, we get all these games on Game Pass. And so something got to give. If you could get so much for $15 a month, then the quality can't be that great, right? You're going to lose something, right? So at the end of the, or they're going to raise it, right? So I get it. Game Pass is great. You get a bunch of games. But so I think, yeah, those gamers are more on the, I don't want to call them budget, but they're subscription gamers. Yes. They want their games to be in a subscription. Can't knock them. Hey, listen, if you're getting more for $15 a month,
I mean, to me, like I said, if you're getting the subscription worth out of $1 and you keep on doing trials, great on you. But what I'm trying to say is, I wonder if they're going to change their mindset of Game Pass once they don't have these entry to Game Pass at that price.
I mean, the reality is, like, there's only so much time to do stuff. Unless you really have no work and you can play games all day, as many games as Game Pass can have, you have the things that you know that when you had that free time, it's a short thing you're going to play. You might try one of those new games like an hour or two, but most of the times, like, I work a lot. You guys work. You're doing your show on YouTube. You're writing something. Like, our gaming time is so short sometimes that like you want to take a chance on something that you know you might like it.
It's like me complaining. I paid for Game Pass, right? For a game I may not like. I could have been spending that. Now I'm forcing myself to be a Hi-Fi Rush. I could have spent that time and play a game that I really enjoy. So that's the thing. They give you the illusion. Now, I'm not, listen, and K9, this is why I kept this up here. He said most dudes to rep Xbox and barely play anything on it, they're clowns. So here's the thing. I think he got a point. It's like Doc. Doc clearly said he missed a big generation. So for him, he's playing super old games that if you were currently playing games, those games to you no longer had that buzz. So with Game Pass,
that's not congruent either. But that's not congruent with Doc, because Doc missed a generation for the PS4 and the Xbox. Right. The PS4 had more games, and more games that I regard as to be better games, right?
Correct.
So why not play those games? So if you're a gamer, you either just want to play one console because that's your brand, or you want to really play games, playing whatever they are. How many games is on the PS4 season?
So here's the thing. The K9 always said Doc would probably like Game Pass, PlayStation Plus better because if he's not caught up to date with games anyway, he could play all those banger games, right? I give Game Pass more. I think Game Pass is better to me because Game Pass at least will come out with day and date titles that hold more weight to me than these older games because I'm an up-to-date gamer. I already played the older games, but each person has their say so.
Cowboy, like, how many new games from Game Pass have you played from beginning to end since you being subscribed to Game Pass? So how many games have grabbed you? You're like, you know what? I need to beat. This is the one. So at that point, you realize you're like,
only thing I played and beat on Game Pass, the best it came in handy was I had beat Gears of War 1 and 2. I took a long break from Gears of War, and when I got Game Pass, I was able to catch up. I was able to play part 4, part 5, and then it was another game called like Gears of War Revolution or something, right? So I caught up with all my Gears of War. Other than that, there has never been a game that I got on Game Pass that I actually said, oh man, I like this game so much I want to beat it. I tried a bunch and nothing stuck with me. Now, besides Vampire Survivor, and then I end up downloading that. Then when they announced it was on mobile, the night of the Game Awards, I downloaded it. It was like, and it's available right now. I downloaded it and I played it on my phone more than I played it on Game Pass.
Because that's a mobile game. That's designed to be better play on mobile. You're basically for Game Pass to use, like you have a Costco membership. Well, you only try the demos.
Yes. No, that's really good. And I keep telling myself I'm wasting my money. Now, to some people, Atomic Heart could have been amazing. I know people that beat it. They loved it.
I'm having a good time with it.
There you go. So good for them. Hi-Fi Rush, K9 loves it, right? So good for him, right? But I think for me, I'm a specific gamer. I like to say, oh, I really want to play that game. And for me, Game Pass just kind of gives me that, like you said, Costco. You walk in through, you get it. First of all, you pay to get in the building. And now that you're in the building, you get, you could grab a bunch of stuff, values, whatever, and you walk in through, and then you're like, And so I guess Game Pass, I feel like I constantly waste my money. But look, it definitely has its value because at least I got to try those games, right? Because I was really just paying it to try the games.
It's the same thing for PlayStation Plus. Like everyone, like I probably beat the more games on Game Pass than I beat them on PlayStation Plus. Mostly because I played more PlayStation games than Xbox games during the PS4 era. But for example, today I tried Ghostwire Tokyo, which I thought it was a lame game. I had no interest in it. I actually liked it so far. It's not that bad.
Which game? What, PS Plus?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, hell no.
I actually enjoy it. I'm having a good time with it.
I sent that thing back after like less than 2 hours. But it was funny that it came out after I had just GameFly'd it like a couple weeks prior.
I mean,
Go ahead, Hope.
Do you ever feel guilty that we sort of judge a game by its cover, for example, or its mechanics, gameplay, and then when it comes on a subscription, when it's free-ish to our subscription, we realize, oof, this game was amazing?
No, that has never happened to me. I'm trying to think what game did I judge it and played it and was like, it was amazing. Because like Alliance Point, then I would have beat it. Now, that's why I judge Game Pass and this differently. Well, I've beat a lot of games on this because I knew that was my type of game. Game Pass, I have to hope that the game I want is on there, Where this, I got to play, like, think about it, I played and beat Forspoken, right? I liked it, played it, beat it. I got track record of beating games on this, but I'm a AAA whore. I'm not gonna lie. So I get a chance to get those AAA games like, oh, that's my banger, and I play and beat them. Like for instance, right now I got Callisto Protocol. I like it, and I'm gonna play and beat it. Games like that isn't on Game Pass.
You know, this is my last month on GameFly. I have for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Dead Space remake, and I just installed it today. That's why I started playing Ghostwire, because I had Ghostwire there.
Okay.
And while the other one was installing, let me try Ghostwire, and I was like, oh, this is actually fun. I'm actually enjoying this. It's not too.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I just feel like it should have been a third person. It's weird that it's a first person spiritual ghost thing. You know, and it's like action / ghost hunter type. Like, what are we doing here?
This might get me in trouble, but I'll sometimes feel that these developers, they do first person because it's maybe easier to have to create a third person character with the movie or whatever.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Like to show a character jumping and all that.
If you look down, you don't even see the guy's feet.
Yeah.
If you look down, like it's like because so basically it's just on his torso walking around. It's basically what's happening.
Beat that Bayonetta Origins last night, Cowboy. Oh, okay.
I'm still playing it, and I love what I'm playing, so I totally agree.
Cool, I think what Host just said, he's loving what he's playing. K9's loving what he's playing. Ellis loving what he's playing. Listen, guys, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I know Ellis sometimes get a little annoyed, bro. It doesn't matter what I say. It don't matter what Holt say. Don't matter what K9 say. It doesn't matter what Ellis say. It doesn't matter what Lion say. We gotta like what we like. Okay, well, it matters what
I'm so glad that, for example, when Xenoblade Chronicles was a Game of the Year nomination, I was so happy to see Bayonetta win. I was so happy to see Splatoon 3. I was so I was saying I was so happy to actually see it, and I thought to myself, it's great discussion that we're seeing TK9 and stuff like that. Just bringing reference that if it doesn't, I mean, me and Cowboy say about Forspoken. I feel like Forspoken is definitely a nominee for Game of the Year. And Lion as well, and musically, mechanically, graphically, artistically. So there's loads of things that we can talk about, and I hope that as the months go forward, that we can actually start shifting our point of reference in gaming. But at the moment, it is what it is. What we're playing.
Yeah, Forspoken is my game. Okay, Lion, man, I know you're a busy guy. You know, you're out there doing your thing. So
I got that. Yeah.
Whenever you feel me, but you know that late at night, you know what I'm saying, Lion, late at night when I get to talk the way I want. So so yeah, man, thank you for making the time to come on. Oh, Host, thank you too, man, because it's super late where you're at. I always treasure and appreciate the time you give because you know. But guys, that's the show for tonight, man. And also, let me ask you guys this. What you think, man, the format? I'm putting non-gaming, gaming, reviews, King of Entertainment. What you guys give me your thoughts before we close out? Since I got
my point of reference is, I've mentioned this the last 2 weeks, is that once I've got non-gaming topics, it's not because I've come from a gaming background. For example, I just love once I hear these sort of dirty topics or topics we shouldn't talk about and stuff like that, it makes me go, oh, now say I'm drinking something, I'm like, oh, I better hurry up and actually join in the panel or join in chat. Where if it was gaming, because we're so used to game, it goes over my head. But adding a little course of discussion that's non-gaming in any type of media, relationships or whatever, I feel like it adds a little bit of flavour to the show. But I can understand the negative ideas of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's going to be you that actually makes the final decision how you want your channel to be run or your stream.
Well, like I said, I'm at least putting the tags. So if you tuned in, you'll be like, oh, I see the tag. It says non-gaming, right?
And this goes back to the whole point, is it's adding extra flavors to personality on people that actually join, where you're seeing that we're not just sort of nerds and geeks in the gaming aspect. We can also talk from other avenues of life, and I feel like it is actually a great twist on it.
To say facts, I honestly don't give a s what someone else plays. It does nothing for me. Just stay true to who you are as a gamer. Good stuff. Let me see. But Ellis, you do be getting riled up with the console wars. I could easily push your buttons if I want to. All I gotta say is, like, man, Xbox never made a game that was as good as PlayStation. You're gonna inbox me quick. Let me see. Root for my VT Tech girls, yeah. Let's see. All right, so K9, I will be watching your video, which was cool. Again, Holtz Lion, thanks, man, for coming on, and we're gonna get up out of here. Guys, this was the King of Entertainment now, and Holtz, do me the favor, man,
Oh, we know I had a great time. We know you had a great time. We know tomorrow's stream is going to be so epic. We know We Wrestle on Wednesdays is going to be the best ever streaming thing you ever see. Better than WrestleMania on the weekend. And now, your mama knows.
I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
And now, your mama knows. Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!